Now who wanna move close enough? Now who wanna move out on? If you got stripes and you let the city know you rock 'em, yeah we got 'em, yeah we fought 'em. Like that black and orange up on 'em, single bottle, never stop it. To the beast and know 'em. Who they rockin' with the diamond stripes, flossing on the ring. Cincinnati, she's our queen, we gon' show the world.
What's up, everybody? This is Ted Karras with the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cincy Hat, and you're watching Bengals and Brews.
We're gonna show them what's up, everybody. What's up, everybody? That's what.
Yeah, what is up?
From the song to Ted.
Friday, right?
It's Friday.
Friday. You ain't got no job. You ain't got shit to do.
I do have a job. I work this week. Thank you very much.
It's Friday. You got a job.
I mean, I had a job. I just didn't have to work for 2 months.
That's true. I kind of got used to it. I apologize. I worked last
Dale's
night.
still a fifth grader. He gets the summers off.
Bro.
Yeah, man. Forever a middle schooler as of
Look,
now.
Dale doesn't like it. Dale doesn't like having the summers off. Like, he thought this out real good. He was like, when he was deciding on his careers, he was like, he doesn't like time off. He likes stay busy. Let me get one where I get a couple months a year off.
But you know what Dale does like? It's the Chop Shop in Midwest Best Barbecue, proud sponsor of this show. I happened to stop by there today.
You
Got
did.
the chicken garlic wings, which are awesome as hell.
Hey, check this out. Also, I got you for opening orange. Look at this.
Ooh, that's sharp. I like that.
Oh, hell yeah.
Get my hands on one of those.
$20. All my shirts, only $20. Even if you're a giant fat motherfucker, 5X,
$1 holler.
$20. No,
That's true because most times it's per every X that you have to add is an extra charge.
Bro,
Like
I
$2,
know
$3,
because I was
$3.
500 fucking pounds. I was always paying like $10 more for a t-shirt, and that's one of the reasons I just made them $20 across the board. Like, you could be like extra small like Derek, or you could be extra big like me, and you still fit. All $20. That's enough about me. Oh, look, Tina's here.
What's up,
Hey,
Tina?
what's up? Thank you.
What's up, Tina?
Yeah, she's
I mean, we all know what you're doing there, Chop. I popped that comment up once, and you were like, "Oh, Tina's here," because it says Chop shirts are great, so he had to make sure and pop that comment up.
Yeah.
That's smart, Chop. It's smart.
Right.
We haven't had a show since what?
Friday.
I mean, I did one Wednesday, but a Bengals show last Friday. Yeah, it's been a week. Yep. So what's happened to the world of the Bengals? Can't say I've kept up on it too much. Shemar Stewart almost took Joe Burrow's knee out. I've seen a lot of people upset about that. And there's a little scuffle at practice. What was your thoughts about that? Greg? Anybody? Chop?
My thoughts about that is
off the merchandise.
This is my thoughts. Stewart is man. He's ready. He's hungry. He's ready to come out. But don't touch the merchandise during practice, though. But I like the fact how Stewart's all mad, wanting to get to the quarterback. But like Burrow said, save that for the season. But I love the fact how Stewart is angry. He's doing everything he can to get to the quarterback. I like that.
He didn't tackle him, though, did he?
Hey.
Well, today he had another pressure, and he said he made sure he stayed way away from him. Like,
yes, right. Please don't touch the fucking merchandise, Shemar.
He kind of tripped or whatever, but that is scary because that's always a fear every day. Like a player can trip. They don't mean to hit a quarterback's knee, but their momentum when you're falling can just put you right in there. So it was frightening, but at the same point in time, Stewart's trying to do his job. And like the line got mad, and I've seen a lot of people saying, well, fucking block better, Lucas Patrick. You can't be mad after the fact. How about you be mad before the fact, and you actually keep the guy in front of you? So what are your thoughts on all that? The skirmish and Lucas Patrick at practice, Dustin?
I think it was a very competitive week of practice. I think there was, some definitely I think the offense started off strong in the week, and I think the defense owned Wednesday. I know that there was some clips uploaded today, and I mean, I'm sure we're going to get into this and maybe a little bit of overreaction. I'm going through Dan Horde's observations. He goes, after the O-line struggled on Wednesday, Joe Burrow had time to stand in the pocket and fire darts. So I think a lot of times we got to keep in mind with these practices is they're working on a lot of different stuff, and any line, relies upon scheming. Like, it's just the truth of the NFL. Like, if you read practice reports this week, like the Browns D line was dominating the Eagles O line in that practice. Like they're all world O line. So I think there's a lot of now. Obviously, we'll get into like Lucas Patrick and how he's looked, but I think there's a lot of overreaction to some of these clips sometimes. Now, obviously, you want to see guys winning one-on-one matchups. I do think that one of those plays with Shemar Stewart, you can see by my title here, awesome sweet ass dip down by Shemar to get around Cody Ford. So I think it was really cool to see that.
Do you think Lucas Patrick's all pro? What you're saying?
What was that?
Said Lucas Patrick's all pro this year?
No, he's not going to be all pro. No,
dude, I agree. Like the line got better. I think the line's better this year than last year. But come on, man, you see what you got at right guard. You already tried to make some shifty moves with Jalen Rivers in the second team. Like it's an issue. Please fix it.
Well, we do know also that Brandon Scherf is officially said he's retired. He was telling teams that in the spring. It was never on the table for him. Yeah. Still makes me a little mad that it doesn't seem like there was a phone call at least to have Will Hernandez in because he was out there for a few days. Unless it was just a done deal, he was always going to sign back with Arizona. But Dalton Risner, I know he's played a lot of left guard, but Dalton Risner is still out there, and I don't give a shit. I would go get him for depth because on the rep today where Stewart did get back there real quick, it was Cody Ford at right tackle and Lucas Patrick at right guard, and it looked atrocious. And we're one Mims injury away, and he already is dealing with a broken something probably on his hand. So, I mean, this is a guy who's already dinged up, and that could get worse at any time. That we're protecting a whole side of the line with Lucas Patrick and Cody Ford for Joe Burrow. To me, that's unacceptable. I would also go get George Fant, who's taken a couple visits.
Yeah, George Fant and Fleming both visited Washington. Why can't we schedule a visit with one of those two, like you were saying, Dale? I mean, if you're not going to get a guard, at least get a swing tackle. That way, it's just I don't know what they're saying right. Dalton Risner, Bengals and Bourbon. I agree with you. I will go pick up Risner myself. He can sleep in my house, my spare bedroom upstairs, till the Bengals finally decide to give him a call, or we'll knock on the door or something. We got to get you in here right now, by all means.
What about that guy that got cut by Houston?
Mason,
somebody that got cut by Houston. He's a little older, but like for a year or something. Isn't he like who was it that got cut?
Shaq Mason. Yeah,
there you go. He played next to Ted Karras with the Patriots. Now he's older, but what about
he gave
bringing
him 8 sacks last year?
Yeah, I'm good.
He sucks. I would not sign him. Yeah.
One of the only lines that we could say was probably worse than ours was the Texans. Too.
So he's Shaq Kappa.
Yeah, he's done.
Never mind.
I mean no, but you know what, Chop? Good name to mention because that's the one they'd probably go get. That's probably
they'll probably got him on an airplane right fucking now.
Let's add him to the pile.
It's right. Yeah,
he's the same age as Patrick too. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, trade for Kappa.
And Risner stated he wants to come to the Bengals. He wants to come here.
Yeah, my buddy Bill Sparks is a Browns fan, and he's talking about, Myles Garrett will line up on that left side more often than not. You couple that with Collins and Graham at D tackle, Swessinger, who is dead to me and Chop because we loved him coming out of the draft. He says it's 9-1-1 for Cincy, in my opinion, on that right side of the line pretty quickly. I mean, especially if Mims is out. I feel good that Mims is going to have a good season, and he's looked really good. I don't think he's going to be out, but things do happen. The depth there is not good. And Lucas Patrick, I feel like, could maybe be mediocre, but he's going to have some bad snaps, some bad reps. We've seen it. We've seen it in two series. We've seen some really bad ones.
You might be right, Dale. He might have some bad snaps, that Lucas Patrick guy.
That's that first game of the year. I'm playing it like a defensive slugfest. I'm only dropping back to pass like 18 times. I'm running the ball against Cleveland. If you look at Cleveland's explosive run plays they gave up last year, they were in the lower half of the league. And I don't think their defensive line outside of Mason Graham has actually gotten better. I seen Mason Graham get handled in the preseason against Robert Hunt. He's going to be a great player, but he is a rookie playing a defensive tackle position. So I think we have to help our O-line out. Like, let's run the ball. Like, you know what I mean? Asking any pass blocker to like drop back 40 times a game and block these pass rushers in the NFL, you're going to get hit a lot. I don't care who it is,
Yeah.
So I think philosophy wise, I think the coaches got to own a little bit of that too.
Yeah, but I would be absolutely shocked, Dustin. I don't think that would be a bad strategy, but at the same point in time, Burrow having this full training camp healthy, you know that he is just like, put it on my shoulders and let me throw the ball. But you do have Chase Brown. I want to see more Taj Brooks. I want to see him have some actual holes to run through because I didn't feel like he had a ton, and he looked decent. But and Samaje in practices is one thing I've seen that he's been getting a lot more catches out of the backfield this week. So clearly they're ramping him up to get ready to have a big role on third downs because they trust him in pass protection still too. And I mean, obviously we've talked about wanting Chase Brown out there, a lot of that too. But I know Samaje is going to get a lot. He'll still get quite a few snaps on third downs.
Hey, and Chase Brown looked real good on that preseason game too. He's one of the bright spots of that preseason game.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Fairchild opens some. I mean, I think we have some guys that can open some holes in pass block. It's kind of crazy, like running the ball, how much that can wear a D line down, and just like the pockets that can naturally form around Burrow. You know, you give him a little eye candy. I don't know. I just want to see more of that. I think there's going to be a lot more 12 personnel this year too. So I'm excited to see like if they work into Noah into Monday night and see what they do with that.
Yeah, and is Gesicki back at practice yet, or is he on the rehab field or
rehab?
Rehab, yeah. No, the only one who's not back at practice was Murphy today, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, Murphy wasn't. I think Jermaine dressed, but he was on the rehab field.
He was on rehab,
yeah. So, I mean, I think health-wise, pretty solid so far. I don't know what the Murphy situation is, and I don't know, like, with Mims, he didn't really get many reps today, so maybe they're just being cautious with him.
I mean, go ahead. It's Friday, Crib. If you got a random Ask Chop Anything question for today, just go ahead and fire it, and we'll have him answer. But the topic of the show, why Crip's getting his Ask Chop Anything question in the chat here. Shemar Stewart, probably going to be the starting this week, probably going to be playing more with the one. Yeah. So it's not necessarily about Shemar Stewart being a starter game one, but guess what? He could be. I still think it'll probably be Murphy and Osai, even if Hendrickson sets out game one. But I think this week, and even if it is, and Hendrickson sets out, we're going to see a boatload of Shemar Stewart early and often in week one without Hendrickson. So he's going to get a ton of snaps. And his versatility to kick inside is just a way to get him on the field even more. So I am excited about this guy. And I know we didn't always love the pick right away or anything. I thought, but he is just so damn tremendously naturally talented. If he actually could add some pass rush moves to his skill set a little more than just rely on the athleticism and power, this guy would be unstoppable. So I'm excited about Stewart. And what do you guys want to see from Stewart? We'll preview the game more on Monday because it's not till Monday night. So we'll have a show Monday. We'll do more of a full preview of Washington Bengals, this, that, and the other. But Stewart specifically for today, and Chop, I'll start with you. What do you want to see from Shemar Stewart in this next preseason game against your darling quarterback from LSU, Jaden Daniels?
First of all, Shemar Stewart, keep your hands off the fucking merchandise in that game too, please, sir. You know, I'd be excited to be a sack, but let's take it easy.
He can hit him all he wants. He's the opponent.
Like when you hit him, lay him down on the ground very nicely. All right.
Well, you got to do that in the NFL anyways these days.
That's a friend of ours.
You know?
Get me? You get
that's
what I'm
a friend
saying?
of yours.
Stewart, that's a friend of ours. Okay. So when you go up there, be nice, but be dominant. What I want to see from Shemar Stewart is pretty much the same thing he was doing at Texas A&M. Difference is he's playing for the Bengals now. Go in the backfield. Create havoc, create pressure. That's what I want to see from Shemar. And I want to see it coming up the middle. And I'd like to see Murphy and Osai on the outsides coming up and cleaning up what he's doing. Okay, yeah, he can't tackle. That's a goddamn fact. He didn't have a whole lot of production down in Texas at Texas A&M, but he created a lot of pressure. And so if he can do that, and also the football shape, he's going to play for a half if the starters are playing for a half. So let's see how he makes out with all that work too. But what I want from Shemar Stewart, it would be very nice to see one sack. It would get this fan base lit up for Shemar Stewart. But I just want to see the pressure. I want to see the havoc.
I'm with you. I don't care
want
if he gets a single sack personally, Chop. Give me 5 or 6 pressures in this game if you're playing the half.
Like,
and just
I
get,
know
Woo-wee.
Trey Hendrickson's going to be playing this year. So if he just gets in that backfield and creates havoc like he has known to do, that's what I want to see from Shemar Stewart, constantly getting pressure.
So a couple questions, and then I'll toss it to Greg and then down to Dustin about Shemar Stewart. But Tina asked, did we ever hear what Burton's actual injury was? I know he tweaked something during the preseason game, but I can't remember what it was. Do you guys know?
No.
Some swelling, he said, or something.
Maybe a knee, swelling in his knee or something,
like,
probably.
Hey guys, I'm not back here being a dumbass. Just so you know, it's literally an injury.
Yeah. And I mean, they did say swelling of some kind. And swelling a lot of time will be in a knee or an ankle or something like that. So it could have been one of those things. And, you know, he was just out of practice for a couple of days. So whatever. And now he's on the rehab field and working his way back. So sounds like that was nothing. You know, it was an injury. He wasn't doing anything. He wasn't at a casino. You know, we can leave this man alone. He's still doing the right thing. So. But unfortunately, based on last year, those things, people are going to have those questions when they don't see him out at the practice field. He kind of did that to himself. Now he's got to earn that trust back, you know, with the coaches and the front office more than us, the fans. But, you know, you're still going to see some fans saying stuff like that. It's just, and that's the nature of social media in general.
And it will be all year too. You want them to sustain professionalism through the whole entire season.
Please.
You know, NFL is a long, grueling season. Yeah. Everybody's excited in training camp. Everybody's doing the right things. Talk to me when it's like, and I have no doubts he got his head on his shoulders now, but it's a long season. Talk to me week 12.
Yeah. And what happens when he's getting, you know, 2 to 0 snaps a game at wide receiver because, you know, he's just not in the game plan that week.
Yeah.
You know, is he still giving the same effort on special teams and in practices, knowing that he's not a big part of the game plan? That's just all part of being a professional that we want to see. But Chop, I'll go ahead and let Crip get his Ask Chop Anything question before we continue with Shemar Stewart. What is it called when Dell makes hand toss homemade pizza in Buffalo?
Is there a real answer for that?
That's what I'm saying. Like, how is Chop supposed to know?
You're making
ask Glenn Goodberry that.
What is it, Greg?
Ask Glenn Goodberry that.
That's probably the correct answer.
The Goodberries would be the correct answer up there. Could make hand tossed pizza up there. It would be called Diesel Dale's.
Well, when I make that, he's talking about me basically giving Glenn Goodberry a hand job. We all know where he was going with
that's the special sauce part. That's when you get the pizza with the white sauce. Yeah.
But, well, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what Crip adds to that. But I mean, I thought it was going to be a real Ask Chop Anything that he could actually give you an answer to.
It's the Goodberry No Pube Harry special.
Deldo, he says.
The Deldo.
Yes. The Deldo throw with salsa.
The Deldo throw.
It's the Deldo. What happens when I make a handmade pizza in Buffalo? It's a Deldo.
Deldo.
You heard it here first. All right, Greg, your thoughts on Shemar Stewart and what do you want to see from him Monday when we face the Commanders in Game 2?
So, Dale, let me ask you a quick question. Have you ever seen the Goofy movie that came out in 1995?
Yeah, Dale,
yeah, but I mean, it's been a long time ago.
No, okay.
I mean,
there's a song where they see that guy power line stand out. That's why I want to see Shemar Stewart stand out. Just keep standing out so you'll notice me and all that. That's what I want to see from Shemar Stewart. Just keep standing out. Be disruptive in the backfield. Have that fire in you. I mean, just keep being disruptive. But, yeah, I just want him to stand out big time.
That's a good analogy, Greg. I'm like beating myself up down here because I didn't think of the Goofy movie back in 95.
Yeah. Well, and it was I'll be honest, it's kind of like, where is he going to go with this? But that was actually pretty good. I ain't going to lie.
If Dale is the Goofy movie from 95 in Buffalo, it's called Dildo Dale's Goofy movie.
Another fun fact. Greg, can you sing a little bit of that movie for us? Because Silvestris doesn't recognize the song unless you're singing
a little bit of that song, if you don't mind.
Stand out, stand up, stand out. So you know.
All right.
I get it.
All right. So that's what he wants to see from Shemar Stewart. Now we all know what song he's talking about. All right. Dustin, what do you want to see from Stewart this week?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys remember, like, when we drafted Burrow, and one of the things that Zach Taylor said when they were bringing him through training camp is like, we're going to throw the whole book at him. Like, we're not holding back. We're exposing him to everything. I've seen that same philosophy with Shemar. They're lining up everywhere, 3-tech, left in, right in. Really excited about that. I think for this week, just continue to see like what we've seen in practice, a few splash plays, maybe a few pass rush moves. I do like to see a little bit more of like what that run defense looks like, because I know that's one of his strengths. And I think going off of what like Duke Tobin said in the offseason, we got to do a better job of stopping the run on the early downs. That will present you with opportunities to get after the passer. If they're only in 3rd and 3s and 3rd and 4s, quarterbacks are going to get the ball out of their hand too fast in today's league. You're not going to get much of a pass rush. So I want to see it all come together with the defense. So, just continuing to build off what we were seeing in training camp so far, what we saw today, some of those pass rush moves, some disruption. I'd like to see, like, hopefully Washington runs at him a couple of times. I want to see his run defense because I haven't really like kind of honed in on that yet. So excited to see that as well. But I think when I just look at him, it's just like what excites me is just the possibilities. I guess like any season is like, what kind of packages can we roll out? Hell, Demetrius Knights was working with Trey Hendrickson today on pass rush moves. What is the opportunity of him lining up on the edge next to Stewart? So it's really excited. Like, now we probably will have to wait till like mid-season before we start rolling out these packages. That's just how the NFL works. But I'm just really excited to see just like ways that we can utilize him.
All right. And Brew Crew, since we are going to have more of an actual preview for Monday Night Football on the show on Monday at 3:30, so that's kind of, makes sense, right? Do the game preview before the game. How about you guys fire off some questions of any kind about football, about Chop's time with prostitutes in Amsterdam, whatever. Chop's time as a DJ, Greg's times shitting in a church. Fire off any questions you want. And then, Dustin, I'll toss it to you for anything you want to talk about right now, Bengals related, that you've seen through the week or whatever that's on your mind for this season coming up.
Or if you want to fire off the first question about Greg shit in the church.
I almost had to do that a day or two ago. I was almost in that situation, no lie.
See?
Yeah, that coffee hit you, huh?
No, it was what was it? What did my dad? Oh, it was salmon. My dad ordered salmon from Alaska.
Yeah, salmon. You got to be careful when Greg eats salmon. Don't be anywhere near a Presbyterian church.
Expensive salmon from Alaska.
Man, hashtag rich.
Yeah, right.
No, my dad ordered it. I didn't order it.
Where's that fucking subtle flex thing at?
Oh, good call, Chop. Haven't broke that out in a while. So Greg, what did your dad order?
He ordered expensive salmon. It's similar to Omaha Steaks. This was salmon he ordered from Alaska. It's good salmon.
Subtle flex. I love that.
Good salmon.
What do you season with your salmon with?
Well, my dad seasoned it something with brown sugar or something. It was what else do we have? There was corn on the cob.
More like corn.
That good corn on the cob.
You up any church? Where the closest church where it's not even a church. Anywhere where I'm close to take a dump. I've had to take a dump at the Madeira subway quite a few times, and I've put that.
Take a dump at the Madeira.
Do you keep hitting that subtle flex?
Yeah, every time Greg says something at the play, he took a dump at the subway.
We don't need to play it like 5 times. I thought maybe I accidentally clicked it and it was just playing on loop because there is a button that'll play shit on loop. I was like, oh, what have I done?
Sounds like we're in downtown Cincinnati.
Hands off the buttons.
Did you do that one?
Oh, I work down there.
Did you do that one?
Yeah.
Oh, you son of a bitch. I swear to God.
Yeah,
I still felt the loop. I was like, it is on a loop.
No.
But anyways, Greg, somebody asked what would be your favorite church to shit at if you could shit at any church.
Well, it wasn't even up to the point I'm making is
favorite denomination, maybe.
Well, I don't know.
Have you seen a church? Have you passed the church that you're like, oh, man, I really like to take a shit in there?
Like,
no, dude, I've done it at a library. I've done it at a subway. I've done it at, It doesn't matter. I just happened to be near the church that one time. No church in particular. I love everybody.
Greg's a
Every
freak.
Thursday, you
He
should
done
take
it at a
it at a
Subway.
different church and then mark it down and see how
Well, I'll
many.
tell you one time at the Manure Library, some old guy was in the bathroom, and if there's one thing I don't like doing, I don't like shitting next to someone in the stall. And this guy took forever to come out. I'm like, man, would you hurry the hell out so I can have my privacy in the bathroom?
All right, Tina here, getting us back on track. Thank you,
Yeah.
Tina.
Tina.
And
here we
obviously, you're doing this for Greg because he was in there with the ones the other day. So she asked for the podcast listeners, what do you all think about Browning versus Ritter as backup quarterback? Browning did not look good in that first preseason game.
Hey, here's an interesting fact. Browning was not hurt during practice. He was healthy, but who was taking the snaps at number 2? Oh, I wonder who that was.
Who does number 2 work for? Greg. It's Greg.
I will say this. Desmond Ritter's not going to be the number 2. It's going to be Jake Browning. Like, look, here's the deal. I
think so too.
I love Cincinnati, but I'm not a UC fan, so I can see it without them goddamn red glasses that Greg's wearing. Like Desmond Ritter, okay. Like he took the Bearcats to the playoffs, but still, like, lost. Got drafted in the NFL, was not great. Got traded to Las Vegas, was not great, and now he's the third-string quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm excited for the dude. Look, it's a great story. He played for UC. He's now playing for the Bengals. It's an awesome story, but, I mean, to dislodge that clipboard from Jake Browning, they're not looking for a guy that could come in there and win games. Holding that clipboard for Joe is a job, and Jake Browning's had that job for quite a few years, and Joe loves Jake Browning. Either one of them, we're fucked if they come in. Joe Burrow's the guy, and either one of them, the drop-off is huge. We are not a contender for the playoffs, the Super Bowl, or winning this division with fucking Desmond Ritter or Jake Browning at quarterback, so it doesn't matter. And when you take the experience of holding that clipboard for Joe over the last, 4 years at least? Was it 5 or 4? Desmond Ritter, he doesn't have a chance. It's not going to happen. That's just my opinion. Seeing it from a non-UC fan.
I will say this. I'm more willing to have the conversation now based on what happened in practice than I was a week ago and how bad Browning looked in the last preseason game. But I would be even more willing to have the conversation about him actually supplanting Browning as the number 2 or think it's actually possible if he is the first guy in after Joe this week and they give him a real opportunity to be the second guy in. If it doesn't change in game action and they actually give Ritter a chance and he looks good as the second quarterback in after Burrow, because Burrow's going to go 2-3 drives, score touchdowns again, and be out of the game. And whoever comes in the second quarter after Burrow does that, halfway through or sometime in the second quarter, if it's Ritter and they give him a chance and he looks good, then I will say maybe he does have a chance to beat out Browning because Browning did look that bad. And Ritter has some talent. I mean, he has something there that you could at least try to develop because after this year, that's kind of the plan anyways. I still think that try to keep him on the practice squad for a year. But if they're willing to put him in there earlier, then I think it's a real possibility he might have a chance.
Well, let me ask you this, though. Can't they dress 3 quarterbacks on game day and it doesn't count towards however many they dress because it's like an emergency quarterback?
Man, I feel like we talk about this every time, and we've looked at it before, and I still don't know.
I know.
I think you can have an emergency quarterback, but he has to be on your active 53. So, and the Bengals are most likely not going to keep a third quarterback on their active 53 entering the week.
I thought we talked about this again. I thought the rule doesn't count for a third quarterback. That doesn't.
Yeah,
count.
so the QB3 does not count against the active roster
at all. Like
at
he
all.
don't be on the 53.
Yeah, I could have. Yeah, Dustin, I could have sworn I read that rule. That
this is a little confusing. It says emergency QB destination. Teams can designate a player on their 53-man roster as their emergency third quarterback.
On the 53. That's what I'm saying. They don't typically keep 3 quarterbacks on the 53. So for us, it usually doesn't happen because we're not keeping a 53 roster spot for a third quarterback usually.
Roster impact. The emergency third quarterback does not count against the 48-man active roster limit.
So it can be number 49 on the practice squad can dress for the game, right?
I think that's.
But he has to be on the 53.
Yeah,
and we usually don't have 3 quarterbacks on the 53.
Yeah,
I'm just saying,
rule, man, because that means you got to sacrifice another position just to get a spare quarterback.
Yeah, and you don't do that usually. I don't think too many
teams
people
are going to do that.
Yeah, I don't think too many teams have activated this.
Yeah, because it's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Now, typically, what you would do, because I'm sure you can call them up from the practice squad just like any other player 3 or 4 times, in a season. If your quarterback's dinged up entering the game, you want to go ahead and bring the guy up from the practice squad. So they don't even have to count toward your 53. You're bringing them up from the practice squad. And then technically they're on the 53 with that designation, and you could activate them on game day that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, Dale, man, I'm just saying, man, big week though for UC Ritter, and we got to and Taylor Swift, #1 UC fan, man. So I'm loving the UC love right now, buddy.
You guys open with Nebraska next or in 2 Thursdays?
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, UC, buddy. We're the Buckeye State, Dale. The Buckeye State.
Well, here's a good question that goes along with this. If Browning and Chop already said that he thinks it'll be Browning anyways, but would Chop be willing if Ritter looks good and Browning doesn't, and Ritter looks good coming in as the second quarterback? Would Chop be willing to keep Desmond Ritter over Browning's hot girlfriend? Like Browning's gone and she's not here because he's on another team.
Hey, there we go, Chop. I like that.
Maybe.
But
maybe.
She's still got Instagram. You can follow her no matter what team.
Oh yeah, bro.
And
she plays for the Steelers. I'm checking them titties out. Look, she's the one that wants me to look at them. If you go to her Instagram, she advertises them fuckers. I'm only doing what she wants. Like if you don't want me to look at them, quit putting them fuckers on Instagram. So I appreciate you, Stephanie Browning, whatever the fuck.
I would say, Chop, I have 2 daughters. Stop sexualizing women, but
I'm not. She is. She literally is the one doing it. I didn't tell her like, hey, get your titties out and take a picture for social media. She did that on her own, Dale. She sexualized it. I can't help my feelings when I look at it.
I mean, what if I laid down and like put a Cincy hat over my junk? Would I not expect people that they'd be grossed out, obviously.
People would look at that and they would go.
They would look at it, and I would have been asking for it. So I guess to not sexualize it, to do it the other way. If it was me, you'd probably look at my titties too.
I would look at your titties.
All right, that's fair. So here's another, and Dustin, you can answer that and answer this as well. Or still answer. Actually, first, just answer about Ritter, and then we'll get to this about third quarterback on the 53-man roster in an emergency, not having an emergency quarterback, who we think it is or could be. We'll answer that next. But your thoughts on, does Ritter have a real chance to be the backup in your eyes? We'll answer. We'll stick with that.
No, I don't. I don't really think it's a true competition. I think we do got to keep in mind, to Antoine's point here, it's like you're playing with a smorgasbord of players in the preseason, and that offensive line, the second unit, was not doing Browning any favors on Thursday either. So yes, he didn't look great, but he's thrown to a lot of different players. I guess this also shows how much having T. Higgins and Jamar Chase as a backup quarterback can elevate you when he came out and played well in the regular season.
True. That's true. You're playing with the first team, and he's looked good with the first team. He's been around for a long time. Yeah. And as Chop talks about holding the clipboard, but I think it's watching those tablets now instead of holding the clipboard. He's the guy that Joe's comfortable. Hey, what are you seeing out here too? But I actually think Joe don't ask for anyone's opinion, to be fair. No. Joe is so dialed in that he watches himself, and when I see him over there, he don't give a shit about anybody else's thoughts on it. He's that smart that he don't need anyone else's thoughts. But
let me ask you this though: something happens and Joe's going to miss a few weeks. You feel better right now if they say Jake Browning or Desmond Ritter's the start?
Yeah, I think I would still feel better about Browning. I know how bad he looked, but I've seen him do it. I've seen, as Dustin was saying, I've seen him play with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and win games. I've seen him do it here.
Greg's already got his middle finger out, so I know his.
No, guys.
Scratching with the middle finger. I can see it, Dale.
Look, I'll be honest with you guys.
I'll
Like,
beat you,
look,
Greg.
yeah, Browning knows the offense. Browning knows the offense more. I understand that, guys. I'm just hyping it because I'm a UC fan. There's people actually taking me seriously on Twitter and all that stuff. So
Greg, but to be fair, I mean, if he can ball out, and here's the thing, I didn't think he looked that good in his time. Yeah, he had the deep pass, this, that, and the other, but overall, he still didn't look that good either. You know, and he's playing guys that are going to be selling cars in a few weeks.
Well, Dustin, as you pointed out, it drove me nuts. He had a wide open area to run 20 yards. Ritter is known to run. That's what I want Ritter to do at times. You know, if you have room to run, just run and all that. But, like, he's still learning a new offense. But right now, Browning, who's been in the system, for 3 years now? Yeah, Browning's might be the guy I want.
Hasn't Browning been here like 4 or 5 years? Seems like he's been here almost the whole time.
Probably. I mean, because he was on practice squad even for a year or two, so he's been around for quite a while. Right. Jungle Jerry asked, who is the third quarterback on the 53-man roster? Like, and it's not necessarily third quarterback. I mean, if they kept 3, it'd be Ritter, but emergency quarterback is the term that's typically used. Like, okay, quarterback 1 goes down, quarterback 2 comes in, that guy's out. You know, they got to put in, somebody has to take the snaps. I don't know what they do. You just snap. Yeah, Zach Taylor. Not allowed to do that.
Can I get some Peyton Thorne, please, in this preseason game on Monday?
Yeah, but for this specifically, I think it could be like, maybe it's like a Tanner Hudson. I don't know. But Cam Taylor-Britt is a guy who played some quarterback. I don't think they would say, hey, you're potentially our shutdown corner. We're going to put you in at quarterback. I think I don't know what the hell they would do. I really don't. It's a great question. Someone like James Rapine should ask them, who is your emergency quarterback this year, just to see what they'd say, because they should have that plan. I hope it never comes to that. We all hope it never comes to that, but they should have that plan because, that's true too, Antoine. Knight did play quarterback. Yeah, he was recruited to Georgia Tech as a quarterback. Then he played special teams. Then he eventually transitioned to linebacker and transferred schools a couple times. Yeah. You guys are on it. It could be D Knight, but it could be Cam Taylor-Britt. But I think it could just be snap the ball to Chase Brown and see what he can do. Or maybe it is Shemar, like you said, Jerry. Maybe they're just like, put Shemar back there with Chase Brown and you're just running the option.
What if it happened and Shemar went and he threw 5 touchdowns in one game?
Listen, this is where football can be like really simplistic. I mean, Tyler Huntley almost beat us in the playoffs if it wasn't for the Sam Ludford fumble return. He barely completed a fucking
for the Browns too.
And he barely completed a forward pass. So yeah, put your best athlete back there and just let him run around. You know?
Yeah. Well, or just hand the ball off, like like this comment here. So Sage says, nothing but handoffs. So you're just, whoever you put back there, you're just hoping they can catch the snap and hand the ball off, and you hope for the best. And then you hope your defense wins the game and gets you through that game. That's all you can do. I mean,
well, when you think about the Bengals, you do think a lot about how the defense is going to win a lot of games for us this year.
Yeah, I'm sure they would be able to do it.
He was with the Bengals for a little bit. I remember him coming out of Arkansas. They put him at receiver. Was his name Matt Jones? He was with us for
Matt Jones, baby. The legend Matt Jones.
Yeah.
Former first round pick to the Jaguars, Matt Jones.
Yeah, he was like, wasn't he a quarterback and they tried to make him into a receiver or something? It just didn't work out.
Well, remember we had Reggie McNeil. I kind of liked him.
Yes,
6th round pick out of Texas A&M. Yeah.
Texas
I'm with Anton here, man. I got more faith in Knight winning at quarterback than the defense winning the game for us.
Yeah, I would just say, listen, Knight, we'll put Barrett Carter, we'll put Oren Burks in, him and Logan Wilson. Oren Burks will come in and play linebacker. If you've got to play quarterback, we're having you play quarterback and do what you did, because he came to Georgia Tech and he was going to be that option quarterback. That's what Georgia Tech ran at the time. So it'd be like, all right. And who would, honestly, I mean, D Knight's like 245. So, hey, if he doesn't hand it off to Chase Brown or reverse to Jamar Chase and he takes off running, he's going to try to truck some people. So, hey, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just not put that energy out there.
Yeah, but hey, I told the Brew Crew to ask us questions. Yeah, that was questions, so we had the conversation.
That's right.
Yeah, I saw Wade's question there. Like, I do think, I think Washington, they canceled their inner squad practice or a dual, whatever the fuck you call that, practice with
Yeah.
whoever practiced with. They
Yeah.
canceled it because they saw the Bengals are playing their starters. So I do think they're going to play their starters for a half, and I think the Bengals are going to play their starters for a half. So we should have a good half of football on Monday night.
I don't need to see Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase for an entire half. I'm gonna be honest.
I don't either. The first
one quarter, I feel like is more than enough.
1 quarter and 1 series into the second quarter.
If it's a good series, 1 series.
Because I would like to see them flip. Like, you know how back in the day they used to do 3 quarters and 1 half in the second half? I would like to see them transition from 1 quarter to the other, because adjustments now, not preseason, but that's usually when adjustments are kind of made on the fly. But then also like after quarters, it's nice to okay, we're in quarter 2. I'd like to see the first quarter, and then maybe a series in the second, and then get them out.
Yeah. Antoine, I think they're going to. I mean, they didn't play all their starters last week, but I think they're going to this week. I think most teams will in this second game. We've been one of the only teams that didn't typically the last couple of years. So I do think we'll see our defense versus Jaden Daniels, and we might be regretting wanting to see it. But
hey, if Shemar Stewart can sack Jaden Daniels, though, that's one of the most elusive quarterbacks in the NFL. So if for some reason he can get his hands on Jaden Daniels, that's gonna be fucking exciting for Cincinnati fans.
I would rather our defense play good about Jaden, play good against Washington, but I'm also at the same time like, how many times have we seen defenses play good in the preseason? They come out in the regular season and suck.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. But also, it seems like we're a little healthier with Dax Hill, CTB, those guys back. And if they're playing this week, that, I will say I do hope it's Jaden Daniels, because what if we had all our guys back and we're playing the twos like we did versus Philly, and it's like, well, look at how much better we did, but we were just playing the twos again with our starters. I wouldn't feel good about that. Like, I want to see our starting defense look good against another team's starting offense. I don't give a shit how they do versus twos. So I do hope it's starters versus starters. And honestly, if our starters get their ass kicked, then good. You've got tape to watch,
Yeah.
And they should have been watching a lot of tape from this past game, because we still had a bunch of starters out there, and that second team ate us up for Philadelphia.
Yeah. Did you see the Denver Broncos lined up their first string defense against the Niners first string or backup offense, and they got actually picked apart by Mac Jones? Like, it was kind of crazy. I couldn't believe it, So,
and to be fair, a lot of times in preseason, you're playing a vanilla defense. You're not showing a lot. Exactly. You're not trying to bring a lot of blitzes. Yeah. It's not what you're not trying to show too much, because you want to save that for game one. So It does happen. We shouldn't freak out yet. But as Bengals fans, after the last couple of years on defense, I understand why we all have PTSD and was all pissed off, myself included. Immediately, Dustin was like, people on Twitter are losing their minds. I said, I am people. I am people, Dustin. I am people. But Gatto, we went over this. You might not have been in. You can have an extra quarterback if he's on your 53. The Bengals don't typically keep a guy on your 53. He wouldn't count towards your, is it 48? Like, you could have a 49th player if he's on your 53, but if he's not on your initial 53, which means you're going light at another position, then you can't have one. And that's what sucks about it, I personally think you should be able to have a third emergency quarterback that just doesn't count towards your 53 even.
Yeah, I was just looking up again. I trusted Al, Greg's friend Al. Explained it to me, and they have to. You can designate. So Desmond Ridder could be the emergency quarterback, but he, like you said, Dale, he has to be part of the 53-man roster. He can't be practice squad.
Right. I mean, but I imagine you could call him up from the practice squad like you can any players.
You would still sacrifice a player to move him onto the 53.
Probably. In a practice squad call-up, it probably the rule would be that way, right? Like, you couldn't just have him extra then because he's an extra player. But you can only do that for 3 weeks either way.
Also, the coach cannot just put, let's say Desmond Ridder does dress and Zach Brown's like Joe's out, Joe sits down. Who
the fuck's Zach Brown? The band? Zach Brown band?
Zach Brown,
I like my chicken fried.
So let's just say that Zach Taylor is coaching and Joe is out because, I don't know, he got a headache. Nothing serious, just a headache, or he had diarrhea. one episode of diarrhea. He'll be back next week, but Jake Browning's in, and Jake Browning's not playing good, and Zach Brown can't just go. I did that one on purpose, but Zach Brown can't just go. Go ahead and get in there, Dez. It literally has to be that Jake Browning can't play, so the coach can't designate the emergency quarterback just to go in because of play. Both quarterbacks have to go down in order for the third quarterback to go in.
Yeah, if they're counted as the extra guy and not part of the 40. Is it 48 now? It used to be 46.
Let's see that. My good buddy Al probably knows.
But anyway, so Jerry asks, is Money Mac the emergency punter and vice versa? I would imagine that Jake Browning, and that's another thing, would probably be the holder, and Rico would be the kicker if Money Mac couldn't finish a game. And then I would imagine that he would be. But a lot of teams will, it's like sometimes you'll see a cornerback or a safety, the Reed kid
46.
a couple years ago. Ocho Cinco kicked for us in a preseason game. But because if you have a holder, and if you got another, Logan Wilson might be our kicker, to be fair, because he's practiced that before. Do you guys know? I don't know if it'd be Rico might just stick as the holder, and it might be Logan Wilson would be the kicker in an emergency situation.
No, Bailey, you point that out. He has kicked him. I've seen him kick at training camp. He probably is the backup kicker.
Hey,
yeah.
Listen to this. You wanted to know how many players can dress? It's also complicated. It's 46 can dress for the game on game day. However, this number can increase to 47 or 48 under specific circumstances, such as when a team has at least 8 offensive linemen. Additionally, teams can elevate up to 2 players from their practice squad for the game, potentially increasing the number of players available beyond 46, 47, 48. I don't know that part about if you dress 8 linemen, if you dress 8 linemen, you can do more than 46 somehow.
Dude, if we're going to be expanding games, we have to have bigger roster limits going into the future.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, 46 is crazy. Like, that seems so small. You know, because, like, you got to think a percentage of them are only playing special teams, too.
Mm-hmm.
You know? It's like, I don't know.
Watching eyes wide open.
Nostradamus says something about PJ Jules. A question I was going to ask,
I was getting there. I went up and I was trying to get to all the comments, so I try to pop them up. I don't always, we don't always get everything to talk about as we're talking and doing everything, but I try to at least pop them up. PJ Jules, talk about him.
I was going to pose I mean, obviously he's made some plays at training camp. To be quite honest, I don't know a lot about him. It seems like the coaches really like him. I can't say that I noticed.
Player that was on the practice squad all last year. I believe he came from a smaller school. I don't believe I ever had him in the draft guide or anything. So player I'm not super familiar with myself.
It seems like he's really dialed in. You know, Southern Illinois. I mean, there's some players that came from there.
Yeah, true.
I just kind of think, what are your guys' thoughts on just the safety room in general? I just kind of feel I mean, how do we utilizing these guys this year? What's your thoughts? I'm really scared about that position. You know, we were hot on Dejon Anthony last year, and we're not hearing the same kind of remarks this year. We had the same buzz. I mean, Tyson Anderson, I think he's so valuable as a special teamer. I think the coaches have spoke highly about PJ Jules, but it's just that safety position, man. I don't know.
Hey, listen, I want to get a safety in the draft.
Position. They paid Mike Hilton in Miami $1.2.
My God, you both were talking at the same time for so long. Sorry,
I know, because Greg wouldn't shut up. God damn it!
It's always Greg's fault.
Listen, they paid Mike Hilton $1.2 million to go to Miami. Why couldn't we retain him? That's vet minimum. Why couldn't we retain him and he could play some safety and nickel corner? Why?
I don't think they believed in him anymore, to be honest.
Well, I believe in him a little bit more than fucking what we got left in the safety room. And every time that I would watch NFL Network and it would do the top 100 free agents, it listed Mike Hilton as a safety.
Yeah.
All right, Greg, your thoughts? I know you were I just thought it was funny because you both kept talking, and I was like, I don't know what either of you said.
No, my thoughts are I mean, Dustin, man, I wanted to go get a safety in the draft. I really wanted to get a safety You know, either even Warrior Starks. Well, we get to face Starks twice a year, so we really get to see what he's made of now. But like I say, I wanted to go get a safety. I still want to go get Simmons, who's still out there, man. I mean, like we're taking a big risk trusting Geno Stone again. I mean, you're hearing right stuff, you know, that he's getting used differently, but still, man.
Isn't he?
Well, he's injured. He's injured right
Injured.
now. And
There you go. He's injured. I mean, you know,
He's
it's like,
today, right?
like Dale keeps pointing out, everybody says we need a guard, but let's go get another freaking defensive back here.
Well, I'll take the guard first. In honesty, I'll take the guard first, but then I'm with you, Greg.
there's no reason not to get another safety because the injury that Stone has is something that could linger. So I'm more like, you know, and then, hey, I love Tyson Anderson, but it's like if he's playing all the snaps on defense, which I hope he balls out, then you probably don't want him on special teams.
Yeah. My bold prediction, I think you're going to see some crazy post-cut, like, roster maneuvering after the cut down day. I think you're going to see players that are come in and get released from us that might be starters. I don't know. Like, I kind of got a feeling that's what they're waiting on. But yeah, the safety position, I don't know. Hopefully Al Golden can find a way to kind of like hide them a little bit, but like offensive coordinators in the NFL are going to find ways to get them isolated too. So I don't know. Is that mixing and matching? You bring in an extra DB, like, you know, like hopefully DJ Ivy steps it up so we can bring him in on like obvious passing downs. Still put him on a tight end because I don't want Battle or Stone covering anybody necessarily. I'd rather have Stone hovering like he did in Baltimore, and then, you know, obviously having Battle in the box. But I don't know. I don't know close enough. Like, I know how Golden used Xavier Watts. He liked him to roam around. I just don't know if we have like a skill set of a player that's like that can just roam. So I don't know. We'll see.
That's interesting. I don't think they'll go light, Ryan. So this is a good place to pivot along with the safeties. Yeah. He could see them keeping PJ Jules as safety 5, especially with the Geno Stone injury on the 53. I mean, that actually, I don't know if they go light at linebacker because I already think they got a battle royale for linebacker 5, and I usually keep them 5.
Al Golden loves linebackers too. Al Golden's a linebacker guy.
But I mean, you've got for one spot, you've got the Joe Giles Harris, you got Muma Jongmeta, and Shaka Hayward for one spot, and that's if they go light, they keep none of those guys. So I can't see them going light there. They'd have to go light at another position. Yeah. O-line, wide receiver, my guy Isaiah Williams. They keep 5 receivers and tight end. Like they can't keep 5 tight ends again this year.
They might go tight end over wide receiver just because Mike Gesicki is basically wide receiver. I mean, it's a possibility.
Yeah, these are fun scenarios to think through.
Yeah, I love the shows like this where the Brew Crew is super active and good conversations, man.
Yeah. I do think PJ Jules has earned himself a spot on the roster, though, to be real talk. So,
I mean, we'll see, right? We'll see. Like, if he gets more and he'll actually get more chances and earlier chances this week. Tyson's probably starting for Geno Stone. And then the second guy up is going to be PJ Jules, and maybe he even mixes in with the ones a little bit in the first half. You know, they try to mix it up and see who does best there. If he does that, he has a big opportunity to make the 53.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, he was active in college, man. Like, you said he's physical, had, 111 one season he had 111 tackles.
Holy shit, that's production. I know it's Southern Illinois, but 111 tackles is 111 tackles.
This one said 10 tackles for losses, and also he had 11 pass breakups. So
is Southern Illinois the same school that Bobby Boucher played for?
No, that was like Southern Louisiana.
Oh, okay.
That's your Louisiana, Chop.
Not my Louisiana. Those are the ones that didn't make it to Louisiana State University. No, I'm just saying I never heard of Southern Illinois.
Cam Taylor-Britt, he's looked pretty good.
Yeah.
How worried are you guys about the corner room?
Yeah,
Go ahead,
he's been
Greg.
no deal. I've seen him make plays in training camp when I've went there. He's making plays in practice. You see him, Dan Hort's 5 observations. Seems like he pops up on a bunch. So, hey, shout out to CTB. I hope he knows he has a big year this year. He's going in for he's due for a big contract if he has a big year this year. So let's see what he can do, bud.
Yeah. The corner room scares me, Dale. I watched that. I don't know if you watched it or not, but I watched them in preseason play against Philly. And
yeah, I know.
here's
I
my
watched it.
analysis. It sucked. So
No
am I worried?
CTB and Dax Hill, but I'm worried about my guy DJ Turner because he didn't look good. I'm counting on him.
Yeah. I know CTB didn't play, but CTB had a down year last year. I'd like to see him come back. Do I think he can? I think he can. Will he? I hope to God he does. I love his family.
Chop, are you saying you're on the Stephon Gilmore train with me now?
No, not really. I was on the Mike Hilton train, but I'll take Stephon Gilmore at a reasonable price. At a reasonable price.
How about Braylon Lux? The kid we talked about a little bit out of, I think it's Texas Tech. He had a nice tackle in the backfield. It was kind of a bad toss that the running back fumbled, but he was there. He was in position. They kind of had him. Like he was in that Mike Hilton type role, blitzing off the edge, and did what he was supposed to do on at least one play. I know he gave up some catches and stuff like that, but as an undrafted free agent, that's a guy. I'm not saying for the 53, but like practice squad, injuries happen at corner a lot.
Yeah,
that's a guy that could be up soon.
Yeah, I think CTB is so important to this defense this year. I
agree.
That's a sneaky key player, like a very sneaky key player. Now, our defense goes as a lot of different position goes, like your impactful players, like your DNs, Trey, etc. But it's so important to have a corner one that can somewhat take away one side of the field. So he is so key, especially in Golden's defense and doing what he wants to do. So I think our defense kind of rides kind of how our corners play. They're going to be really important in this defense. So,
hey, Dustin, a serious question. I was a joke, but I kind of go back and forth, and I'm sure we'd have to cut someone to make roster room. Obviously, with Clowney's out there, is Clowney make any sense to you at all? I know he's not a guard, but does he make any sense to you at all?
Probably. I don't think so. You always want to add pass rushers. Yeah. I don't know. There's nobody out there. Obviously I would love Dalton Risner. I don't know what the deal is with him. Why isn't he back on the Vikings? Why didn't they sign him back? What's with this guy? Is he
with somebody? He's not.
Is he a locker room cancer? What's up? I don't know.
Right.
Who are we talking about? My daughter come down to yell at me about taking a certain ice that I should have taken another ice. And
Risner.
I don't care. I don't care if he's an asshole in the locker room. On game days, the guy can block.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that the deal with him? People say he's a locker room asshole.
No, I have no idea. You just
I have no idea.
You assume he is because he's never signed until season is starting, and then he plays well for 2 or 3 years.
Hey, what about this Nostradamus? He's saying, what about Turner at safety?
Yeah.
I think CTB would be more of a safety, but I think we're also counting on CTB to be a lockdown corner or Dax. But honestly, I think CTB has more potential to be a lockdown outside corner because I think Dax is going to play in the slot. And Turner's body type is not a safety body type. Period. Point blank.
Yeah.
Also, Cam Taylor-Britt is going to – this kid is going to play the best he can this year. He's going to give 100% effort because this is a contract year for him, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, so he's going to go out there and fucking ball out so he can get a bag, whether it's here or somewhere else.
Who day to you?
To you?
Yeah.
Kane, you're my other than Caucasian friend. I'm not sure, but you must be other than Caucasian, and we're friends.
It's going to be interesting what Golden thinks about the cornerback room because Newton had a nice play today, interception on Burrow. So it's would love to hear be a fly on the wall. Who is he leaning towards right now as the other outside corner, Turner or Newton?
But competition to me is good, right? but you want the competition to be good. And Newton should have had that interception, but Johnny Wilson just happens to be 6'6" on the outside for Philadelphia and kind of ripped it away from him. He was in position for an interception. At least he was in position.
Rozelles is with Greg. He's ready for that secondary player to come in, Greg.
Yeah,
hey, if it's Asante Samuel Jr., though.
I'll take him too.
Him over Gilmore. Gilmore's like 35. Samuel's like still 26 years old and been very. And listen, honestly, I wouldn't be mad about Gilmore, but I think Gilmore only wants to go somewhere if he's going to play again this season where it's like, okay, they need me to come in and start. And it's not happening just for what we were saying. I think they want Turner or Newton to step up along with CTB and Dax. So Gilmore would be coming in here in case shit goes bad. He would be a backup. And I don't think, even though he's older, I don't think he just doesn't plan on being that. Patrick Peterson was never really that, you know. When Patrick Peterson signed somewhere, he was starting.
Patrick Peterson, Dale.
I'm not saying anything bad. I'm saying that he didn't go to a team to be their backup starting the season.
Exactly. You're right. He went there to start.
It's crazy. Asante Samuel Jr. is this young in his career, and he's already on the outside looking in.
You have to wonder how bad his injury was, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the only thing because the kid has had some very good seasons, and he's still very young. So I think he'll be fine, but it may just be one of those things where the injury is taking a while. I mean, shit, if Eric All was a free agent when he got injured, and then teams like no one would be picking him up, and we're going to be, well, look what he showed. You know, he's under contract, but I'm saying if he was a free agent, he's not going to play this entire season. So no one would probably be wanting to pick him up and pay him when he's not going to play the entire season. So maybe Samuel's injury, he's not going to be healthy. Kind of like Will Hernandez, right? People were talking about him in free agency. And Greg's like, I don't know that he's cleared to play. And he wasn't. He only got cleared to play right before he signed with Arizona. So it could be something like that too with Samuel. Yeah. Maybe he's not clear.
Well, no, let me ask. I know we talked about this before, but I'll re-ask you guys this. Obviously, this wouldn't happen until later in the season. But Christian Wilkins, man, if he's out there and he's ready to go healthy and we're going to the playoffs, I still wouldn't mind signing him for the playoffs, even if he does ask for a crap load of money. Is that fair to say?
I would love to have him on my team. I mean, he could kiss me on that. I could be the designated guy he kisses on the head or wants to see naked in the shower or whatever was going on there with the Raiders. I don't care. Because the guy is a good football player and a good pass rusher on the interior. I would love to have Christian Wilkins on my team, but I do think the injury and the injury issues with him is what's keeping him out.
Oh yeah.
Like, as you said, I don't think he'll sign for a long, and whether he needs another surgery, like teams are probably like, I don't want to pay you when the Raiders said you needed another surgery.
Exactly.
Yeah, injuries are tricky. You just never know what's going on for some of these like players that are out there. So, the other question I have for you guys is, Logan Wilson.
Chop just jumped out of his seat, which kind of made me chuckle because someone's there, and it just made me chuckle. But continue, Dustin. Sorry.
Just early thoughts on that. I mean, it's like one of those contracts. Like, we signed him a couple years ago, and he had an okay year a couple years ago, and then was injured most of last year.
Who was it? Who? I'm still thinking about Chop at the beginning of that.
Yeah.
Who was it? Who was it?
Logan Wilson. Just worried about that. Worried about that position. I mean,
I think we talked about it last week, but I think we should talk about it again because in practice he's getting burnt just like he was in the game. The more tape you watch from that game, it's like it really looks like he's lost a step and he's not getting it back. Because we were like, we're trying to give him grace because Al Golden's back and this, that, and the other. But a lot of his game was based on athleticism, right? That's what made him as good as he was. So when you do lose a step, when your game is based on that, more than it is, like a Perfect is an instinct film guy. And I'm not saying that Wilson doesn't have those things, but not to the level of Perfect. You know what I mean? Perfect never needed to be an super athletic guy. He didn't test well. Wilson's game was based off that. He was a former high school wide receiver and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, when you lose a step and that's what your game's based on, you're probably not the same player. And I fear that. But will the Bengals make a change if it's a big problem? Will they go to Oren Burks? Because Oren Burks looks pretty good, and he helped the Eagles win a Super Bowl. Barrett Carter, pretty damn athletic himself. You know, he's a guy, when he loses a step 7 years from now, he probably won't be the same player. But right now, he's a rookie, and he's got those fresh, athletic, young legs. Get him in there. Let him play. Do you think they would make a move if Logan Wilson don't look good the first few weeks?
Yes, I was just talking about this the other day at work, that I wouldn't be surprised if Logan Wilson is not starting at least halfway through the season, because he's lost a step and he hasn't showed so far that he's found it back. Like, we got Al Golden back, who coached him when we went to the Super Bowl, and we're all like, hey, look, man, he's going to get Logan Wilson back on track. But the camp hasn't been great for Logan Wilson so far. So I was saying the other day at work that I thought that Barrett Carter could possibly come in and upset his seat like halfway through the season, if not before, if he doesn't step up.
I want to toss that around, but Crip, I have no idea what you're talking about. The comments are flowing, which I always appreciate, but I probably missed it, so you'll have to say it again. I'll try to catch it this time. Sorry, brother. How many years are on Logan's contract? So, Greg, your thoughts on Logan Wilson, and then we'll try to – Dustin, can you look up how many years are left on Logan's contract? I know he's not a free agent after this one, I don't believe. But, Greg, your thoughts on Logan Wilson, and if they would replace him for Oren Burks if he's struggling halfway through the season, we'll say, like Chop was saying.
Or like, Dustin, like you were saying, I have a feeling this could be the next Alex Kappa right here. You know, is he going to lose a step like this? I mean, my fear is, though, we may – you know how sometimes I like to give someplace a little too many chances before it's too late. I still think they value Logan Wilson, and I would agree with you guys, like someone like Burks or, Carter should replace him. But will they do it is the question, though, within a couple of weeks. I think they should if he's losing a step. But a lot of times the Bengals, they seem to want to give too many chances till it's too late sometimes.
Well, we know Al Golden loves Logan Wilson because he was linebacker coach when we went to the Super Bowl, and Logan was fantastic. And that was not a penalty. I don't care what anyone says. And T-Brookie, before you give me that information, Dustin, why are we talking about Wilson in the past tense? Come on, one preseason game, overreaction. I hear you. I understand. I still think there's time to bounce back. What I'm saying is if everything before the season starts is if hopes and wishes for the good side, and if this happens on the bad side, what do you do? It's just all conversation before. But it's something that we've noticed the last couple of years, and I'll be like Dustin, not in a bad way. I think it's in a good way. Dustin seen the fall off for Alex Kappa coming a year before he won the Triple Crown. He said, I think Alex Kappa is falling off. He told me the same thing about Logan Wilson last year before his injury. So if he doesn't bounce back this season, I'm basing it off of some damn good history of a guy telling me, like, hey, I just noticed. Whisperer. Yeah. Well, not even injury, just like a guy's falling off. You know what I mean?
Falling off.
So
Whisperer.
Yeah,
he watches the tape and sees, like, hey, this guy don't look as good.
Watch the tape.
Go ahead, Dustin, and you can, the other part of that. What your thoughts on it? But
I mean, Logan Wilson is now 29 years old. His contract was 4 years, $36 million. He signed through the 2027 season. He's making $9 million a year. So
is there get out? Is there like guaranteed money situation? Are you, if you're on Spotrac? I know I'm just asking Dustin to look things up for me live on air, but usually I have to do that. So it's nice to have this guy that's on it this quick. And Ovazella says, yeah, I agree. Logan has regressed the last 2 years. I mean, that's just the eye test, right? As fans, that's what it looks like, right? He's not the same player he was.
He was tended to by trainers today, practice too.
Oh, so, Jesus. We didn't want
like, I don't think
Chop was like injury whisperer. Well, we didn't really want that. Go ahead, Dustin. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, I mean, the injury rate with him, like, too, is kind of stacking up. And that's just not a position that you want to have guys moving half speed, because you got to cover running backs, tight ends, you got to come downhill. And does it mean anything to you guys? Maybe the Bengals saw it on the tape. That's why they signed Burks. That's why they drafted 2 linebackers. I mean, does that mean anything to you, or is that just how it kind of happened? And they
I
wanted
think that's fair because we didn't see 2 linebackers being drafted after they brought in Oren Burks. So Al Golden, being a linebacker guy, would know more than 4 idiots on a podcast. Sorry to call you guys idiots, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, we're not NFL defense coordinator. But you know, if he watched the tape and said, "Oh, I'm worried about Logan Wilson over these last couple of years when I've been gone and at Notre Dame and things like that, now the injury, I want to get younger. I want to get more athletic, and I still want to have a veteran that I can pop in there like an Oren Burks." I mean, those are the moves that he helped the Bengals make. That's not us just pulling shit out of our ass. That'll happen.
Yeah.
So I'm not writing Logan Wilson off in any way, shape, or form. And T. Brookie says, I think Wilson was playing with Pratt last year and he made the whole defense look slow. That's fair. That's fair. But Logan Wilson has Demetrius Knight now. And I know D Knight maybe diagnosing things, and NFL, it's a different game speed. Might take a little time. But we don't want to see a veteran like Logan Wilson looking like he's reacting to things slower than D Knight. And maybe it's not reaction time. Maybe it's literal athleticism that he's lost. And it's just something that Dustin has noticed, and I've noticed it too, and I think a lot of fans have noticed, so we're going to talk about it. But I'm not trying to bury the guy. I love him.
Also, don't worry about it because Kane spoke to Logan, and he found his step that he lost. It's all good. So
yeah, he found. Thank you, Kane.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kane. Thank you, Kane.
Right.
Kane.
That talk with Logan for it.
Kane, put the gun down. I mean, it's a discussion point. Obviously, we all want to be wrong, you know.
Yeah, I love Logan Wilson. Like, love him.
Would you?
Hey, Dustin, I got a question for you. Also,
Yeah.
After Logan Wilson, obviously you never want this to happen. Who's another guy you suspect could also be losing a step after Logan Wilson?
People aren't talking about as much because you were on it with Kappa and you're kind of on it,
right?
Like, I have a Logan Wilson jersey, so I'm the last one that wants to say, "Oh, maybe you're right." I always told Dustin, like, I don't see it. I don't see it, Dustin. And then Dustin's right, you know. Kappa, I was like, I don't see it, Dustin. And he was right.
Don't say Jamar Chase. Go ahead.
Or Joe Burrow. Don't say it.
Don't say Jamar or Joe. Go ahead.
I'd like to see Orlando Brown get to his spot quicker.
I knew it. I literally Orlando Brown, and I don't love that. I don't love that.
And he's been banged up too. So here's the thing, guys. Like, father time comes for us all. We want these players to play 100 years for us, and I love them. But like, part of like the deterioration of players too, it's not always play on the field. It's also these injuries start to take tolls too. Like, your body just doesn't move the same. Yeah. And it's such a league in which every little blade of grass matters. And that's why we have these conversations, because it's so damn important. You know, not every player is going to be perfect. I don't actually mind my offense being a little bit older because it's a more of a headier type of position. I want my defense young, fresh, fast twitch muscles, can read and react fast, you know? So that's kind of where, and you actually win a lot. Look at the last 2 Super Bowl winners. Their defenses have been really kind of like lower on the age. Like, Kansas City's whole entire secondary is pretty young. The Eagles, like, their defense last year, they had some veterans on there, but really young. A lot of their contributors were young players as well. So
that is such a good answer. That, like, and the defense, like, it all makes sense, right? Like, which is why, and the Bengals have invested in the defense in the draft to get younger.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now hopefully they play and they perform, you know. It all makes sense, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, now what do you lose in return? Like, I think as fans, we're going to see a little more consistency with young players, but I think gradually they'll get better towards the end of the year, you know, with some of these young guys. So I'd rather take the risk on the young guys and having more athleticism and let them develop. Just hold the fort for the first couple months, let those guys improve. You know, our offense will do its thing. But if I, you know, could just like kind of just build the team the way I'd want to, that's how I would do it.
Hey, man, Antoine, don't be jealous. I love you too. He told me to stop the Dustin glazing. Antoine did. But T. Brookie says, how about Ted? playing center. Lots of things. I think he's playing great.
Yeah.
I think he had his best season as a pass blocker, and we passed the ball a lot last year in
Let me
his
ask you
entire
this,
career.
Because you're fucking OSU homer. What about Seth McLaughlin coming in?
I gotta see it on the field. I mean, he's 9 months off of injury. You know what I mean? And it's like I hope he can get on the field in these preseason games and this one coming on Monday, and he can flash and look good to keep on the 53 because I don't want to lose him. I don't want to risk another team signing him if we try to practice squad him. And I had put him in my last 53-man projection on the 53 as our 10th O lineman. But what I did, I put in parentheses, he basically redshirts the season if Matt Lee is healthy, especially. He redshirts the season kind of like Tanner McLaughlin did, but with a higher upside, I think, than Tanner
Those
McLaughlin.
McLaughlins are always redshirting.
Yeah. Why not, right? Let's just have another one.
Yeah, might as well.
But I'm excited for Seth. Like, I think he had potential to be a fourth or fifth round, like third, fourth round pick, honestly, before the injury.
Yeah.
What's going on here in your picture, Dustin? Are you snowboarding?
Nah, it's just I snowboard, but that's an avatar.
Hell yeah, you snowboard. Look at you go in that picture.
Utah, man. There's not much else to do besides play in the mountains.
Watch Bengals improve, right?
Yeah. Hey, University of Utah might have 2 tackles drafted in the top 10, right, Dale?
Oh my God! Of course I know Spencer Pinot and Caleb Lomu.
Yeah, dude.
I think Lomu could go back to school because he's a redshirt sophomore. I mean, they came in the same class, but when you're a redshirt sophomore, you got 2 more years of eligibility. Fano is a true junior. Played left tackle his first year. Fano's my O tackle 1. I love that guy.
I love him. Yeah.
I like Lomu. Lomu's like tackle 4 for this class.
Yeah.
But
I think they had PFF rankings preseason for college offensive lines had Utah like number 2. So, yeah.
Hey, Chop, give me a draft report on Mansur Delane. I think I probably not pronounced that right, but we could easily go corner in the first round. Give me a scouting report on Mansur Delane.
Let me defer that to my draft expert, Dale.
Okay, Dale, because I saw it in Dale's draft guide. That's why I figured you had any.
Yeah,
well,
why
don't you read
on
it?
the draft guide.
I already gave it to you. If you have the draft guide, and I just updated it today.
No freebies.
Well, I wanted Chop's evaluation. He's my LSU guy.
The draft guide just got republished. It's also I paid $5 like months ago, and I got a new one. So it's constantly updated as Dale sees things happen in college.
Well, I bought one for my brother because I'm like, did I buy one yet? And so I
did you forward it to him? I didn't send it to him. I told you just forward what I sent you to him.
Yeah, no, it's okay, Dale.
Nobody else is allowed to do that, though.
But no, I like Delane, but Chop wouldn't know, Greg, because you just see the LSU and you assume that he's been at LSU. No, he's a transfer like a lot of players nowadays from Virginia Tech. So he's been at Virginia Tech. He transferred to your school, Chop.
Yeah, he transferred, Greg. Otherwise, I'd know everything about him.
Yeah. And
I like him. I like him. He's fun.
Dale likes him.
To answer your question, I wear shades because I got a huge blazing light right here. So my eyes are always like this. And plus, just became a trademark for myself. So
I thought he was going to say he had a huge dick, and we were all going to be like, we don't know anymore. Remember, Chop, why you said you don't think he had a huge dick now?
Right.
We all thought he had a huge package, but now we're thinking maybe not.
Because the sunglasses.
Well, it was something else you said a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I did?
I forgot.
Yeah, I can't remember what you said.
It was about his package?
Knowing you, probably so.
I thought Crip had a pretty
I had
good
so many
question.
conversations about Greg's penis. It's hard to lock down the
I
exact
can't keep up with the chat, which is a good thing. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying.
Crip had a Miles Murphy 5th-year option. I mean, what do we got to see for that to happen?
Okay. Yeah, that's good. I don't know where it's at, but he just says, are you looking it up, Homer? Yes or no? I don't know. I can't keep up with the chat. I blame Sport Jump for this.
It's Miles Murphy's 5th-year option year.
Yeah. Will we exercise it? Yes or no? I don't know.
I'm also after a full week of work. I'm a good three going on 4 big cups of rum deep. So, Chop, you got to take control of the chat from now on. But yes, Dustin, what are your thoughts on that?
Dude,
Yeah,
I don't know, man. It's like you hate. I mean, I think you probably just exercise him if he shows some potential.
Yeah,
Get a
if
50
first round pick, you almost have to.
Yeah, you do it. You automatically do it.
But Dale, was it 2 years ago where like all these first round picks weren't getting their 5th-year options picked up? Like it's actually becoming a little more common. Or was that
It's not that many. It's not that many. Like, but it's always big news when one doesn't, right? Because most do. So, like, yeah, there's I think a couple years ago you seen 5 to 10, which is a lot for 32. To be fair.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just
can't, dude. The focus is gone. I'm sorry. I did all I could. We're an hour and 20 minutes in. We usually do 1 hour. I'd have been good at 1 hour, but
so Crip, I would say I don't know. Like I gotta see like how he performs this year. We did exercise Dax's 5th-year option when he's coming off an injury. So I have a feeling the Bengals would probably exercise his still. Relying upon continued development. But you do.
And the decision will be made after this season. Before he even plays his 4th season, you make the decision after their 3rd season. So that's the thing. Like you already have him for a 4th. So if he shows any flashes in his 3rd season, you're going to pick it up because it's cost control with that 5th-year option.
Yeah.
And if he balls out, well, I've already got him in for a 5th year if he balls out in the 4th. So it's almost like if you show literally like Dax only played 3 games, but he showed enough that they were like, yeah, we should pick up this 5th-year option because of the money. If he is what we think he can be, which is why you draft guys in the 1st round. And the Bengals specifically are going to think he can be what I think he can be. That's why I drafted him in the 1st round. So most likely it'll get picked up. The only time it don't, it's very rare, and the guy's just a complete bust and never even saw the field. Murphy has at least saw the field, some, and he's going to see the field a lot more this year. So I expect them to pick it up. I do.
Also, I apologize, but I got to go to work.
All right, bro.
Greg, you're going to have to take over the comments.
All right, I will.
Asked me to do it, and then I got to leave. So, but I love you.
Wow, that was short-lived. Chop chat was short-lived. Taylor.
Chop chat was short-lived. You put it to me at the end when I had to go to work. Not my fault.
It's fair.
Designated right before clock out time.
That's fair.
But anyway, love everybody in the Brew Crew. Fucking
you,
can't wait to see everybody on Monday when we get ready to go face the number 2 quarterback in the NFL, Jaden Daniels.
Hell yeah, boy. Have a good weekend.
And I want to give a big shout out to my guy Taylor in the chat because he said this is bachelor party weekend. So this guy's living life and just being wild. And he's tuning in to Bengals and Brews. I mean, what a dude.
That's commitment right
What
there.
a dude.
I love it.
What a
Love
dude.
that.
That's a bachelor party. Let's talk ball. Fuck Vegas. Let's talk ball. Taylor's on it. I love that guy.
Me too. I love all you guys. I love everybody. Let's send the link out to the chat. It's
Yeah.
Greg's favorite time of the show when we send the link out to the chat.
Bro, Natty
Right,
Ron,
Greg?
you survive in Arizona. Isn't it like 130 degrees there?
Oh my God. Dude, I got my car after work this week and it was like 100 degrees. I mean, it cools down a little bit to in the 90s, but I'm like, I ain't built for this. I ain't gonna lie. Not 100 degrees. It's too much. Greg's out working in this heat.
Oh, dude, I almost fell asleep before the show started. I was so wiped out from today, man.
Well, that's you need to get you one of those garage beers.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, go get one. Don't be a
I'm
pussy.
just tired, buddy. But no, I'll be right back. Hold on.
Yeah.
I actually had an interesting topic to bring up. I would love for you guys to weigh in on that I was having with some buddies the other day.
All right.
If you had to rank postseason like excitement, right? Like who has the best postseasons? How would out of the major league, let's say hockey, baseball, football, NBA basketball, MLS, we didn't really include that.
See, I'm biased because I don't watch enough. If my Blue Jackets aren't playing in hockey, I don't watch the playoffs. But it's so intense in the playoffs for hockey.
Yes.
So like that's probably the correct answer. But for me, it's football because I'm a football junkie. You know what I mean? And I do like basketball playoffs because basketball is my favorite sport, like in general, and to play and everything else.
Yeah, I'm a junkie. That's all I do is watch football in the fall and blah, 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 blah. I got to say that. But I actually think the NFL has the worst postseason. I think baseball's number one. I think baseball and hockey 1A, 1B. I think NBA basketball playoffs are absolutely incredible. And then NFL's postseason, like the wild card weekend is usually always kind of whack. And then have you guys ever went and scrolled through Super Bowl scores over the years just to see how lopsided those games have been over the years?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Greg, you did this. Did you have an opinion on that? Like, I think baseball's good. It's just the Reds are never in it.
Well, no, I'm going to say, we're not talking anything Major League Baseball right now because if we talk about a certain team right now, we get excited. They're going to start playing that. So we're not going to talk about a certain team right now. Don't talk about it.
Dude, I almost tweeted the other day, like,
No.
I don't even want to say what I almost tweeted. Yeah, I'm just not
Don't say
do it.
Don't say it. We're not talking about it. I know nothing.
Yep. I'm so with you right now. Every time that I get
play
excited,
possum. Play possum. No, shh. Play possum. We're playing possum.
Huge series for the Reds. I will say that. Playing the Brewers, and the Brewers are on a tear, and the Brewers are such a well-run organization. I wish we weren't playing the Brewers right now. I will say that.
Okay, I was going to say, it's like playing the Steelers. The Brewers were like a walk-in-the-park team for us for years, and now all of a sudden they're like the Steelers now. Or they're the new Cardinals now.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the thing. Like, they get rid of guys. Like, the Brewers will get – and they just reload. And, they're so well ran.
Well, no, our pitching coach that left the Brewers to come with us, everybody thought the Brewers were going to get screwed. But they just keep coming, and coming. Yeah.
Oh.
My. That is that guy from Star Trek or whatever. I never even was a Star Trek guy, but that one guy that goes, oh, my. Oh, my. That's that meme I thought of immediately.
I was thinking of Rocky, too, when Apollo Creed's trainer, Duke, said to him, he's like, why are you so worried about facing Rocky again? Because I saw that guy kept coming, and coming. Yeah. So that's what was going through my mind, not what you were thinking.
It sounds so dirty. Ohio Game Talks, I agree. When the Cavs lived in the finals with LeBron, yes. And honestly, this year, and that's the thing, man, the last 2 or 3 years, they've had good teams. And this year, obviously, they had an amazing team in the regular season and didn't make the run that they should have. It's just dropped it down and a recency bias that it's like, but yeah, if you have a team and like in football, I had Ohio State, my squad here, win a national championship this year. So that was pretty damn fun. 4 games with this 12-team playoff and watch Ohio State after losing to that team up north. Now I call them Michigan. They've earned that respect because they beat the piss out of us lately, but after losing to Michigan and to win 4 straight games in the playoff against good teams, that was very exciting to watch. But there's nothing like when the Bengals made that run with Joe Burrow to the Super Bowl. All that could have been better was winning the Super Bowl.
Yes.
We were so damn close. It hurts. I talk about it all the time.
No, the Reds were fun that one time. Remember we were up 2-0 against the Giants? Everybody thought, Sirs in the bag's going back Cincinnati. That pissed me the hell off, man.
Like, I remember when the Buckeyes lost to Alabama in the title game. Alabama boat raced them with Mac Jones and those guys. Honestly, I wasn't even mad. It was kind of like, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when the Bengals lost to the Rams, I'm still not over it. It's just a different feeling. Like, NFL and the Bengals are my love, obviously. But
Yeah. I
Well,
mean,
and I tell you. Oh, by the way, one quick thing about Midwest Best Barbecue. If you're interested this weekend, it is rib weekend at Midwest Best Barbecue.
There you go.
So Dustin, man, get on a flight from Utah, man. Bring you in, get you some ribs, buddy.
There you go, Dustin. I will say too, like Dustin, I don't know if you've seen that clip. Greg posted it. Carl Pickens was on a podcast, and I reposted it too. But they were asking him about Tennessee because he lives in Tennessee. He played college football in Tennessee, like Tennessee barbecue or like Skyline chili. Nothing to do with anything. And this man literally brings up Midwest, Tim and Nicole, and how damn much he loved that. Period. This man been there one time, and that's how much he loved it, and brought that up in a podcast. And it was like, and I like my daughter Aurora's been there, I think once. Miley's been there a couple times. Like, they all love it. And these kids are so damn picky. And that's why I was like, man, I know they're a sponsor of the show. They're a sponsor of the show because they're amazing people. Like, we would probably still talk about Midwest if they didn't sponsor our show. Like,
absolutely.
Because they're great people and the food is absolutely incredible. I have not had a bad thing from there once.
I got the chicken garlic wings there today. Isn't that what Miley usually gets when she goes there? Because I'm a big garlic guy myself and all that and stuff. Yeah.
I stick with my Grippos, man. The Grippos are amazing. And Kane, you're right. That was a lot coming from Greg.
No. Do you stick with the boneless or just the regular Grippos?
Well, I always got the Grippos. I've still only had the boneless the one time we did the live show. I haven't been back since our live show. Like, I've got to get back. I know. It's just me and Miley are definitely going to have to stop there. So me and Miley will be going to the preseason game. That's actually perfect. Me and Miley will go to the game. The game's at 1. Actually, it's a Saturday. Yeah, so Midwest will be open. It's a Saturday. I was like, wait, they won't be open. No, they'll be open. It's a Saturday. Yeah. So, boom. I'll definitely be stopping there on the way home with my.
Cincinnati's a really solid food city.
It is.
Yeah, there's a lot of solid spots.
Well, they've gotten so much better, like opening up, like, Montgomery was kind of like, the only barbecue place I knew of, and then all these like Midwest Best and a bunch of food. It's really gotten a lot better. But Midwest is always my number one. But yeah, Carl Pickens, I was just going through Instagram. No, it was called, what was it called, Dale? AFC North. Like, I'm gonna be
honest. I don't know, Greg. I only seen your clip. You know what I mean? And I just seen the clip and I watched it and I was like, he ain't wrong. Like, he's not wrong at all. Good. Like,
I brought Eric. So Dustin, the first buddy I ever brought to Midwest Best, he was the only guy I know that hated Chipotle. He was the pickiest eater I've ever met in my life. I'm like, he's gonna hate Midwest Best. He goes in and gets 2 sandwiches. He eats 1 sandwich. I'm like, oh, you take one home to your wife? I'm like, hell no, this one's for me, man. So. Dustin, if you ever back Cincinnati, we need to hit up Midwest Best.
Oh yeah, so down. I mean, yeah, those Grippos wings. What a like a combo that they like.
Dude,
something like local. Okay, so,
I have to be in the mood for actually Grippo barbecue chips. Like I do. Like I like them, but it's like sometimes I'm like, meh, whatever. It's a mood thing.
Well, Dustin, when you get the
those wings, Greg, let me speak. Those wings are like another level of like, what the hell is this? These are unfreaking believable. And I didn't think there was another level to them. And then they had boneless wings with that. And I was like, my mind is blown. This is absolute insanity. The ribs are good. Everything is good. Everything is good there. Mac and cheese, everything. So.
Well, Dustin, okay, so imagine this. You at the bottom of the Grippo's bag, the powdery stuff, the powdery seasoning at the bottom and all that and stuff. Just dip a wing in there, fry it. That's what it tastes like. Dale can vouch for it. That's exactly what it tastes like.
So good, man. Natty Round. I want to get to Natty Rounds here. 2012 Reds had me in tears. Was that Latos and them?
That was we were up 2 games to nothing.
I haven't got like super hyped about the Reds, I think, since then. Because
that's when we were up 2 games to nothing against the Giants.
I know.
Yeah. Like Homer Bailey pitched. No. Homer Bailey had the best away winning record, and Dusty made him pitch at home for us. And I'm like, that just got me so upset. That pissed me off.
Yeah.
Do you guys hate the Rams at all?
No.
He says, no hate for me, just a grudge. I hate the refs. Like, I just think that was a bad call. Aaron Donald, Hall of Famer. You know, Matthew Stafford, I don't hate him. Like, but that's our Super Bowl.
Well, no, you know, Bill Walsh, I really don't hate Bill Walsh. We're the ones that gave up on Bill Walsh. Bill Walsh wanted revenge on us. He wanted to kick our ass twice. I don't blame him. I mean, we could have had Bill Walsh as our head coach and we let him go. He was
damn, you're going way back. You're going way back. Anyways, Dustin, what were you about to say? Greg starting to talk about Bill Walsh. I don't know where the hell we're going there.
I was like, talk about, like, you know, because they were known as the team as F those picks, and now they've drafted super good. You know, like, it does show, like, how in the NFL you can kind of turn it around pretty quickly if you hit on some picks. So, I mean, they're turning around. Now, Stafford's injury, like his injury stuff now, that's a little shaky right now. So I actually don't hate
Stetson Bennett, though. Stetson Bennett had a good preseason game, and he didn't even play for a year or so.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah. So I don't know. The Rams I actually don't like the Chargers because I hate Jim Harbaugh, and I just feel like screw that guy. You know what I mean? And I think
I said last year, I was like, we were ranking coaches, I think it was, Greg, over the summer last year. And I was like, I got to put Jim Harbaugh up there for what he did with the Niners. And I said, I think he'll show the same thing with the Chargers. And he did good with Michigan, regardless of the cheating and this, that, and that. Yeah. And I do think he's a cornball. Like, there ain't no doubt about the fact he's a cornball. But I got to respect the man as a coach. He gets the most out of his teams. He can run the ball. I mean, if you wanted to run the ball, that man can run the ball. So I respect Jim Harbaugh. I don't like him, but
are you saying you're going to wear khakis now because of Jim Harbaugh?
I have to at work, Greg. I would do wear khakis at work.
Well, you wear khakis at work?
Sometimes.
Dude, I want a picture of you in khakis. I would never in my life. I thought you wore your jeans at work, bro.
No, we can only wear jeans on Fridays, man. I got to wear dress pants Monday through Thursday.
I think teachers get their street clothes for Pete's sake still. Are you kidding me?
Not where I work, brother. Like, no. I will say this. You would think that because I wear T-shirts. I'll wear, like, whether it's black dress pants, gray dress pants, brown dress pants.
Right.
Or khakis.
Right.
I wear a T-shirt every day. Right. Unless it's winter, then I'll wear a flannel. I'll wear a flannel with my – I don't give it – I mean, that's just how I roll. But we have to wear dress pants. You know what I mean?
Okay, I didn't know.
Fridays, we're allowed to wear jeans. So I always wear jeans.
Yeah.
Casual Friday, I got you.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But I want to get this comment, Dustin. I keep cutting you off, and I'm so sorry. But Matt says he asked Carl at Jungle Jam about Midwest, and he talked about it for 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
This man loves Midwest best barbecue.
That's awesome.
Go ahead, Dustin. Great. Sorry.
I was going to bring up like another interesting topic. Have you guys felt like the lead up to this NFL season's been kind of bland? Like, I'm not a storyline guy, but it just feels like the coverage hasn't been that great. I think locally, I have comments on that too. I just kind of feel like it's been pretty bland leading up to the season so far. There's not like these like crazy storylines. Actually, what's kind of scary, I don't think that like a lot of people are actually really talking about the Chiefs that much. You know, I don't know. I just wanted to get your thoughts on just like the lead up into the NFL. Now, obviously, we're football guys. We're gonna always be excited, but like for the general public, I just feel like there's like it's missing juice. It's missing juice. So I don't know if you guys noticed the same kind of.
I hadn't thought about it. I do wonder, I don't know, I'll say for me personally, is maybe part of it that we're such a streaming world now instead of like cable TV that we're not, but even like, I don't know, I'm always listening to like draft podcasts and stuff, but it's not necessarily the season. I don't know. I'm just not hearing like, you know, because in the past, oh, this commercial, oh, that commercial. Mm-hmm. I'm not seeing that. So that's a good point that I had literally never thought about. But it doesn't feel like there's a lot of buzz. I mean, obviously, Twitter, there's always buzz about sports because that's all I follow. I don't want nothing else on Twitter.
Yeah. Well, I
don't know. Your thoughts, Greg? On that?
Dustin, I agree with you. Ever since the Chiefs lost Super Bowl, it's like, okay, what do we do now? It's like, you know, they won't even talk about the Eagles. Everybody was so all over the Chiefs. But it's like when the Chiefs finally lose, you can tell the NFL's pissed off over that now. Now what do we have to do? Now what's our new storyline, right?
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like there's anything grabbing anybody's attention. Like, no.
Yeah.
Well, they might see the numbers from that Taylor Swift podcast with the Kelsey brothers, and the Chiefs are probably winning it again because of those numbers.
Would see Taylor Swift. I'll say this. It is cool to see how she got in the NFL draft. How she was all excited about Xavier Worthy and all that. I wish she was a Bengals fan, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
being 5 minutes behind in this chat is honestly it's criminal. I'm so sorry because everything I'm popping up is like 5 minutes ago. Yeah, Greg, you have not done your job at all, and I'm behind.
Sorry.
Well, I gotta pee, but Dustin, I know you've got some stuff there. I'm gonna check on my dog real quick, and I'll be right back.
Yeah.
This is
Greg, anything else like top of your mind throughout preseason, throughout camp about the Bengals? Or
okay, so today we heard Duke Tobin saying how much he has respect for Trey. Respect.
Yeah.
I mean, I know, Dustin, we talked about this too much, but Jesus, you would think that they would pay him with the respect he deserves, right? I mean, look, I love Duke Tobin. Duke Tobin's a good guy, and I'm glad he's talking good about Trey, but it's just like, we hear Bengals office talk about how he's helping out people. Gee, I think maybe he should get rewarded for that, don't you?
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of an interesting disposition because it almost shows like maybe there's a little more layers within the Bengals organization that we think. Like maybe the scouts are separated from the front office, like the executives or whatever, and like he's kind of like, hey, they're doing their thing. Now, obviously, he's going to have his input from like a player personnel standpoint. Probably have his stamp on like how much money allocation. I'm sure. I don't know if the Bengals have a salary cap expert. I'm sure somebody knows or goes through the staff page. I'm sure they're involved, but it does kind of seem like it's isolated to the two people that are doing the contracts usually, and that's the Blackburns. And he's kind of like, hey, I've given my feedback. It's almost like beyond his pay grade, as wild as that sounds. So I don't know, man. It makes you just kind of think that are some like intricate layers within the Bengals organization when it comes to that stuff. I do. With that being said, I think like I would like the contract to get done sooner than a lot of people probably would, because I remember Nick Bosa 2 years ago. He had his contract hold out. He didn't sign before the start of the regular season. He had a solid year, but it wasn't a normal Nick Bosa year. I think veterans need reps too, man, to get ramped up. Yeah. I don't want to do this thing where he signs right before like week one.
Right.
I would like to get this wrapped up like soon.
So Dustin, I'm going to be straight up with you. Like last year, I remember you in the comment section, you kept worrying about Chase constantly, and I want to be like, Dustin, he's at camp. It's no big deal. And at first I was going to be like you, Dustin, Chase won the Triple Crown, so it didn't matter. But it did, because the Patriots game, first two or three games cost us because it took Chase 3 games to vamp up pretty much. So in a way, holding in did. Now, I think this is where with Trey, I think because his job, I'm not saying defensive end's easier than receiver, because defensive end, your main job is to go get the quarterback. Receiver, you have to run routes. I am not saying defensive end is easier than a receiver, but you have every right to disagree with me over this. I still want this to get done. Obviously, the sooner than the better. But is it concerning, in your opinion, for a defensive end like it is for a receiver, though?
I think a little, not as much. Because to your point, like, get after the quarterback. Right. Now, I think obviously, like, the defense, I think we know what Trey offers. Right. And I think, like, maybe even the first game, like, you're going to have to limit his snap count. So I think, yes, there is a little bit of impact. I think receiver is as much as Burrow and Chase plays together, like live action, live bullets flying, stuff like that. I just think like it is way more impactful. So yeah, I agree to your point. Like defensive end, I don't think there is as much of a concern. If he doesn't sign with the Chase situation, because just go out there and get after the quarterback. So I agree with you on that. I'm not as concerned, but I also like to your point, like, let's just get it done so we can kind of move on. There hasn't been much buzz or much talk. The same with Micah Parsons. Like, I mean, outside of Jerry Jones getting those funky like press conferences, you're not really hearing much about negotiating. So I don't know what the hell's going on. It's
Well, the
just
thing with Jerry Jones is, Dustin, he has the money to pay him.
Yeah.
That's the difference between us and the Cowboys. He has the money to pay him. I mean, Jerry Jones, we know, has the money to pay Micah Parsons. He's loving all the attention. You know, Jerry Jones loves all this attention. The thing I can never stand about Jerry Jones is I love it how he thinks he just speaks for the whole NFL owners. It is. No, he's done a good job. He bought the Cowboys one time for less than $1 billion, and now they're worth way more than that. He's a great business person, but man, he's just the way he is with the Parsons situation. I don't know, man. It's just like he's going to want like way over $40 million more than what.
Well, how about Cam Hayward with the Steelers? I just looked back and heard you guys talking about the Cowboys, like the hate on us with Trey Henderson.
How come we're not getting the same? Oh, the Steelers are cheap. How come we're not hearing the Steelers are cheap? I mean, look, Hayward, 36 years old, but he's still playing at a high level. I mean, how come they're not talking about that? 36 years old.
Well, and their fan base could say, well, we just traded for DK Metcalf, and we just paid. We just got Aaron Rodgers, which whoop-de fucking do. I'm still curious to see how that plays out. We just paid TJ Watt. Gave him the highest contract. So did we with Shemar Chase, and we paid T. Higgins.
And a lot of them forgot about that. It seems like fans have totally forgotten. We paid. Nobody thought that was going to happen. All the experts said, "Oh, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen." But it's like, and look, it's easy to get frustrated with the trade situation, I think. But like Dale, and Dustin, we have to look back at look what we just did. But that's what the Steelers are saying too. But it's with us. It's always going to be the Bengals are cheap, and that's what takes.
Yeah, I mean. Even if you win championships, it's not going to remove that narrative, But I mean, at one point, wasn't fiscal responsibility kind of looked at as a positive too?
Yeah.
Like it's like we got in this sports world where it's like whoever spends the most money, and then you see the Mets just falling apart. LA's lost first place in their division. You know what I mean? Like,
I will say this: I think there's a difference between being fiscally responsible. And also, the Bengals aren't cheap. They do pay money. They pay their big players big money. They spend to the cap, as Mike Brown says. But it's more about how they don't utilize this window they have and do things differently. They're so stuck in their ways. That's what I get mad about. It's like you could have a little more cap space if you structured your contracts differently. You could add a little more talent. You should be a little more proactive on bringing it. Like we all thought Cody Ford and Lucas Patrick, that's the plan for guard.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, I want to be wrong. I want Lucas Patrick to have a great season. But we're seeing a lot of things already that are red flags for it's not going to be good at right guard. And it's like, why weren't you more proactive in handling that? That's my biggest complaint still with this front office more than.
Well, would you guys have paid Fries for the guard? I thought he got a little overpaid because we knew he was a good guard, but his injury issue scared the hell out of me. I thought he got this wasn't a great free agency guard pass, but still, Dale, there were better options out than what we have now.
Yeah, and you're talking about the top guy on the market, Greg. So it's like, no, you don't have to go get the top guy on the market that got an incredible $100 million some dollar contract. But how many guys are getting a contract that is feasible? Or even, I will go back to Dalton Risner. Like, he's not going to cost a lot.
No.
What's the downside of that? Like, unless he's like, I won't sign unless you guarantee me a spot. Maybe that's a starting spot. And if he does that, I understand why teams don't sign him. Well, maybe that's it.
Would he want to move over to right guard? Because they're not going to move Fairchild, Like,
maybe he doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, those are all fair questions. Like, because that's what the whole time he was the lowest on my list of like Scherf, who retired, Hernandez, who was injured and then signed with the Cardinals. It's like he's been a left guard. I would always say that, Greg.
Well, here's my question to you guys: you think they're waiting on final cuts? Maybe some, but every team likes to keep going.
No.
You don't think so?
There's not going to be a starting caliber right guard that's cut.
Right. Because they value their backups. So that's the thing that came to my mind. There's no way someone's going to trade because those are hard to find.
Yeah. I mean,
I honestly, now that Rivers is getting some snaps at right guard, I would love to see Rivers out there with the ones.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But to be fair, no, I don't. I lied. I don't want to try a guy out with Joe Burrow in there in preseason action.
Well, see, why do we get
not that it's good what he has in Lucas Patrick or Cody Ford playing there? But I also, you know what I mean? Like, but I first I need to see Rivers with Browning or Ritter playing right guard because he hasn't played it in the NFL. I need to see that first, actually.
Well, you know what's interesting? I want to go back to Kappa quickly. Who was the center for the Buccaneers? He was, rumor has it, he was getting ready to sign with the Bengals. Then Brady came out of retirement. What was that guy's name? But then he tore his ACL right after he signed back.
Jensen?
What?
Ryan Jensen?
Yes, Jensen was rumored to be signing with the Bengals. But then Tom Brady, the day before free agency, came out of retirement, and then he went back to the Buccaneers, but then he got hurt. I heard that he was getting ready to sign with the Bengals.
It'd be interesting to I might take a look at Green Bay's depth on their O line to see if like anybody that Peters is associated with that could be potential guys to get picked up. I think there was a podcast, I forget what it was. They floated the idea of like even like a trade as well.
Really?
And maybe we can, do an un-Bengals thing and make a trade to get a player, guard.
We got B.J. Hill for Billy Price.
Yeah.
Okay, that's actually good. I want to get to this first, but then let's go with that next. Let's go with who's a player that we think would have some trade value that we could get something for, a player for player swap, like a high draft pick that hasn't quite panned out or a mediocre draft pick that hasn't quite panned out that maybe you could get a starting caliber guard or safety for if Geno Stone's injury keeps being bad. But Pork Chop said Del Doe, which was part of the joke from Crypt Keeper earlier. So if Crypt Keeper is still watching, I want Crypt Keeper to know that the more I hear about this Del Doe, maybe I should open a pizza shop in Myrtle Beach.
Yes, you should.
You
Called
should.
Del Doe.
Call it
That could kind of be a big thing. And Crip, we could go in on this together, Crip. But anyways, back to Greg. Is there a player that you think we could trade fringe 53 spot and maybe get a starting caliber guard or safety or another position?
Okay, not trade because they would never do it within our division. But I'm just praying to God all the money that Brown Smith are like. They call Wyatt Teller or Bettino in the office, said, hey, you guys are cut. One of you is cut. And Peters, who coached one of them, I would race up to Cleveland right now and bring him. But it's not going to happen. But, yeah, I first thought, would the Colts be willing to trade Quentin Nelson since they're going nowhere?
No.
Probably
No.
not. But I would take
no.
But, okay, no. But say theoretically, Colts call the Bengals. Ding, 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 ding. Second-round pick for Quentin Nelson. Sign me up for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're not doing that.
That's not going to happen. But no,
well, and that's the thing. Most teams are only going to trade you a guy that is either not a starter or like BJ Hill must have been on the outs of even being in the rotation, which was silly on their part because he should have been. And that was the Giants, right? He was with the Giants.
Yeah, and by no, another trade. We got Reggie Nelson also saying around just like BJ Hill.
With the corner that we weren't really going to keep, we got a starting safety. So, yeah. And he was a former first-round pick. So it goes both ways, right? And you don't know how it's going to turn out. Like, that was probably the thought for the Giants. We're getting a first-round pick center, so we'll send you BJ Hill, who is our D tackle 4 or 5.
Let me ask you this. Is Miles Murphy trade bait right now? Someone just said hey.
Yeah, Overzealous said, hell, trade Murphy for a guard.
No. I'm in on that.
Trey might not play game 1. Cedric Johnson is just now working his way back from injury. Cam Sample was injured last year. What is your depth at the edge position in game 1 against the Browns? If you trade Miles Murphy, what's your depth? Who's getting snaps? I know Shemar. You don't want to play Shemar Stewart and Joseph Isaiah 80 to 100% of the snaps on the D line. That's the position that's rotated the most in the NFL.
I'll be right back.
Dale, what role was kind of changed this offseason that teams are going to be looking at to take advantage of in the gameplay?
What was the question again?
What rule was altered a little bit in special teams this year for special teams?
League wide, Bengals wide, league wide. What role was changed? I mean, is that a returner?
Yeah, like kickoff.
Kick returner.
Yeah. What do you think
So-
we have like access of? Kick
So
return?
you're saying I like potentially Isaiah Williams. You're not getting anything. You're not getting anything for Gary Brightwell.
Yeah.
But if Isaiah Williams or Charlie Jones, they're not getting rid of Charlie. Like I had to eat shit on that one. Like he's playing with Joe Burrow. James Rapine, you're right. I ate the shit on that one. I was wrong. He's not a cut candidate. He's solidly on the roster. My guy Isaiah Williams, definitely not on the roster. Gary Brightwell, you can't get anything for. He's probably on your practice squad. And P. Ryan's back there. Brooks is back there. Burton, right? Like you got Burton that could also do returns.
Yeah. So I think
Isaiah Wood, like I don't think anyone's giving you anything for Isaiah Williams though.
Yes, you're probably right. But what I was
it would have to be higher on that because I was going with your train of thought, and then as I talked it out, it would have to be. I know he's injured right now, and he's a third-round pick, and he's doing everything right. It would have to be Jermaine Burton. And you don't want to trade that guy in this. You know what? To actually get a starting caliber guard or safety back in return, I don't think you get that for Isaiah Williams.
Burton, you probably would.
Yes.
You would. Yeah.
Burton would what?
Yeah. I mean, I just think like you're going to have to shed if you want to get a starting guard or safety in a trade. You're going to have to look at your depth, and I'm just not a Burton. Like I love his skill set. There's something about him still not sitting right with me. I'm just like I'm gonna.
He's got to prove it, right? Yeah, there we go, pork chop. Just trade Desmond Ridder for a starting guard.
You could have a desperate team that needs.
And I agree. We would keep. Andre is getting snaps as the starting slot wide receiver. Period. Point blank. He is all, and Charlie Jones is getting snaps over Jermaine Burton as well on offense. I hate to do this because I like Burton.
Yeah.
But if Burton would be the piece, he would be. And I hate to throw this out in the universe because now you could hear other people talking about it, and I'm not trying to. I love what he's done this offseason to be locked in. You know, he's in the building all the time. I love that and respect that. And he has a ton of talent. But I didn't love the pick when we made it, to be fair.
No.
And if he showed out in the next game or two, and he showed out as a punt returner the first week, you know what I mean? And I know he's dinged up, so he might not even play this next game. But remember last preseason, he showed out in like week 3, the last preseason game. If he does that again after showing what he's shown as a returner on top of it, that could be something as a third-round pick with first-round potential that somebody would be willing to trade you a guy that maybe they've got 2 guys battling for starting guard, and the one that don't win their job but would be an upgrade over Lucas Patrick. They're willing to trade that backup who is their 6th lineman, but they're willing to trade that for Jermaine Burton because they need a little more explosiveness. And they think Jermaine Burton might be their receiver 3 in their room. He's not here. I think it would be a trade like that. I don't have a player for who would get back, but Jermaine Burton for a potential starting caliber guard.
Yeah.
I'd have to think long and hard about saying yes to that. Yeah.
Look, we just had a front office roundtable conversation. Look at us, you know?
Yeah.
Look at us.
Bengals, watch, take notes.
Yeah. I want to post I want to find where some of the guys live and post little post-it notes on their doors. Like some you know, like Son Night Dalton Reisner, you know. So I do think like in our scouting department, we talk about that a lot. There's a lot of football guys in there, and I love it. You know what I want to see? Some dork that carries a freaking computer around and doesn't know anything about football. He just looks at everything analytically. I think actually that's like some of the stuff that we need. I think we did hire an analyst to go into the front office, so that's a good sign. But like, I don't know, man. I think in today's scouting, like you need some of that. Like,
I'm gonna pretend how this works. The guy goes in and goes, "Well, here's the numbers. Let me give you the numbers." And he knows nothing about football. He doesn't know like any positions. He doesn't know anything.
Exactly. What was the Greg Moneyball where like Jonah Hill?
Hill's character
Yeah.
is working for the Browns, I think, still. I'm glad you brought that up. He is working for the Browns still.
Yeah.
See, Matt Jenkins said that he would run to the phone to trade Burton for any decent guard or D lineman. And I mean, if Trey's out, I'm going to one preseason game. You talk about an overreaction in the other direction because Steve Brookie was calling me out for overreacting about Logan Wilson earlier in the negative direction. I'm going to overreact in a positive direction because you all know that I have wanted a pass rushing defensive tackle.
Yeah.
I banged the drum. I do still think it's one of our biggest needs for next draft.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm overreacting. I've seen a lot of good stuff from Chris Jenkins and McKinley Jackson. I clipped both of those guys up. It's on Twitter. It's on TikTok, the Bengals and Brews account. And I was like, I think we got something here, boys. I think we got something with these second-year D tackles.
Yeah,
I really do.
Jenkins.
And a healthy B.J. Hill and T.J. Slayton and Howard Cross flashed. Taven Bryan had a sack.
Woo! Yeah.
Eric Gregory looked pretty decent. I'm like, we have a little, even some guys on the practice squad. I'm like, we may have a little depth here from the practice squad where we don't have to sign a guy in week 3 if injuries occur.
I'll tell you what, every time you see Chris Jenkins signing autographs, one of the nicest guys in the world. He's always signing for my nephew. I tell my nephews, don't tell them you're Ohio State fans. I always got to tell them.
Oh, yeah. I would OH right in front of his face.
No, but he was still signed. Chris Jenkins is such a good. He's so awesome at signing our guys. He's really good with everybody.
No, he's a great dude. He forklifted Lucas Patrick today.
Well, and that's the concerning part, right? Like kind of like with DJ Turner. Then and Lucas Patrick. I know I clipped that up, and I try to clip some stuff up and not give comment and just see the comments, because people hated the Joseph Osai clips. Like he sucks, he's awful, and I'm like. Nothing came his way, to be fair. He made some decent run defense plays, and he tracked down the ball from the backside on the goal line that saved a touchdown on a play. I'm like, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't flashy, but it wasn't bad. Lucas Patrick, on the other hand, a lot of people's like, he looked pretty good outside 2 or 3 reps.
Yeah.
And I agree with them. Right. But 2 or 3 reps when you play 2 series in an NFL game, and you're protecting Joe Burrow, it's fucking atrocious. It's not good. Dylan Fairchild had 0 bad reps, in my opinion. 0.
Yeah. Dude,
he's a rookie.
I see you the block he had on that Chase run in practice today, Chase Brown. Him sealed it off, and then Orlando Brown, Osai was trying to set the edge, and he just engulfed him. So... yeah, they're definitely running to that side. That's for damn sure.
So, what's your guys' expectations for Slayton this year? Are we expecting him? Obviously, DJ Reader. I don't know if he's probably not up there with Reader, but what is your expectation for Slayton this year?
Honestly, Greg, you've mentioned that so much that is my expectation now. But I don't think I said that last week. I don't think it's a crazy thought because DJ Reader was good. He was a good player for the Texans, very good, and he got a big contract by the Bengals. But then I think he unlocked the next level once he came here.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I think Slayton's been very solid, very good, especially against the run, because that's what I want my nose tackle to do. I see and Slayton's about the same age that Reader was. I don't think that's crazy to have the expectation. I mean, right? We've played no games, so the expectation is he can become that. I will say when I watched the game back multiple times, clipping stuff up, I didn't see it. I thought Chris Jenkins was better against the run than Slayton. I'll say that.
Yeah. That was the thing. That first game, I don't think our defensive line was that bad. It
wasn't.
I thought it was more linebacker and corner safeties, but so, yeah, I mean, my expectation for Slayton is to, play the role of a run stopper, cause some disruption. I mean, I have high expectations for sure. I thought it was they identified a guy that maybe is ascending, and you kind of just got to go off that pattern, and hopefully he just continues to ascend and is kind of that run stopping glue guy you need in the AFC North. Obviously time will tell, but I just think that's kind of what he's here for. So we'll see.
And honestly, why wouldn't we feel that way, right? Because they identified, and DJ Reader was our first pickup that offseason. They paid him a bunch of, and it seemed like an overpay at the time. He was the highest paid nose tackle type of player ever when the Bengals did that. It was like, well, that's a little shocking, but I was like, I love it because we need to stop the run. And then without DJ Reader last year, we were like, oh, man, that's not good. You had no nose tackle. So the fact they went out when free agency started and he was the first signing, they identified it. My expectations are what it was with Reader, And I think Slayton was he was a mid-round type of pick, wasn't he? Maybe somebody else could tell me. But Reader was a 5th round pick. You know what I mean? You get those nose stuffing tackles, and going in the 5th round is like going in the 1st or 2nd round sometimes when you're a run stuffer at D tackle. That's the talent you have when you go that high.
Dale, 5th round pick out of Florida.
DJ Reader was a 5th round pick out of Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
That's why it's like, do you just take swings on defensive tackles in those middle rounds every year? Probably yes, right?
But also free agency, right? You're picking up a guy after his first contract ran out. So now and he didn't get he didn't even get the contract Reader did, So he should still be hungry to get one more.
Exactly. Chris or Trip, Greg, what is your favorite toppings on dildo? Extra cheese or pepperoni? Or I got to go pepperoni.
I love this. Crip, this is great. So what is your favorite toppings on a dildo pizza? Dustin, favorite toppings on a dildo pizza?
White sauce.
Is that extra cheese?
Extra cheese, white sauce. Oh, man. I mean, if it's Myrtle Beach where we're putting it, it's going to be one of those hydroponic stores that you can smoke fake weed and get all trippy. So you probably got to have some pizza with just wild ingredients on it because you don't even know what you're eating because you're out of your gourd.
Oh, yeah. Nostradamus says bacon and banana peppers. Get wild on the dildo.
Yeah. Get wild with it.
I mean, bacon's a solid choice, but banana peppers are not my cup of tea. But you put whatever you want on my dildo. I mean, these jokes are never going to end the way I can just say these things, too.
Yeah.
I love it.
Never.
Anything except sausage. Yeah, no sausage on the dildo. No, and then Wes immediately says sausage on the dildo. That's a sword fight.
It is. It is. I don't know, man. That's a pizza that you kind of got to get crazy with. Throw stuff on there you don't think belongs on a pizza, I guess, right? Like, we'll be talking about some. I know pineapple is always a sticky subject for people. No pun.
Yeah, you can put a pineapple on my dildo.
Pineapple on Dale's dildo.
On Dale's dildo.
No, a dildo. It's a dildo pizza.
Dildo.
It has nothing to do with dildo. My name is Del, and it's a pizza dough. A pineapple on my Del dough. Perfect.
And hang the pineapple outside.
Oh, $1 million Bengal meatballs. You gotta have some meatballs with your Del dough.
I don't mind it. Get crazy with it.
Meatballs and Del dough. It's a perfect combination.
There's some red chili flakes on there. Some Parmesan. You're good to. Would you stuff the crust? Or no stuff crust?
I don't know if my dildo. I mean, maybe that's the special white stuff in the middle. Is the stuffed crust? I want the special white stuff in the middle of your dildo on this pineapple pizza.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. All right, boys. I'm gonna have to hop out.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect way to end this.
Yeah, it is.
Appreciate y'all tuning in. Over 2-hour episode. football, we don't play till Monday night. We'll have a show Monday. We'll talk about the Washington players, the Bengals players. We should definitely know by then all the starters are playing and who's in and out of the game. So it should be a fun show, man.
Yeah.
But then we'll have another show Friday, and those ones are insane, like this one. We'll talk about more dildo on Friday.
Dildo toppings.
Who day.
Who day,